Welcome to the Game Day Gauntlet, where action hits you in the mouth and the excitement never ceases to amaze. 5 games in 3 hours from action around your league, with scores from mid-season signings like this. It is caught for a touchdown, and that is Daniel Alvarez. Today we begin in the Big Apple, where Phoenix flies into the lightning. Buckle up, grab your popcorn. The UFL and the Virtual Football Network proudly presents the Game Day Gauntlet. And welcome to Week 5 in the UFL. I'm UFL co-founder Cameron Irvine, and let the chips and the hair fall where it may. Today, 5 games on the docket. Phoenix and New York kicking off in just about a minute's time. The Skyhawks coming off their first win of the year. New York a little shaky against Rochester, who now has to welcome in the defending champs into their house, the only team winless so far. New Orleans heavy dogs at Los Angeles. Can they get it together? 1-3 versus 3-1. Wichita, Salt Lake, back and forth this season. Who's it going to be? Both teams have had their struggles and had their triumphs as well. And then Chicago visits San Diego, fresh off the Wildcats' 39-31 win over the Miami Pirates, who we'll see tonight on Coast to Coast at Vegas. Minnesota hosts Austin. Dallas and St. Louis is your Monday night primetime game tomorrow. Welcome to the Game Day Gauntlet, as we are just, what are we calling this? Maybe 3, 2, 1 second away from kickoff in New York. Welcome to the Big Apple. It's time for UFL football on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. We hope you've made it through the significant weather throughout the country and hope that you don't sustain any more throughout this wonderful week. We got a lot of overcast games today around the league, but nothing too crazy. No wind, no rain on the Gauntlet. Phoenix makes the long cross-country trip at 1-3, just getting a win last week. And now they've got their toughest task yet of the season, outside of maybe Austin, who they've already played this season. A tough schedule start for Phoenix. We'll see what they've got here on the road against New York. DJ Simeon, the most improved player of any player in the league this week. They're saying he had a great group of practice. $20 super chat from Jesse Fritz gets us started today. Welcome to all the new UFL players crafting their story. It's time for UFL football, and it's time for New York to kick it off. We are underway from New York City. This kick is 5 yards deep in the end zone, and out comes Joe Tillo. Joe Tillo, an interesting season. 1,355 yards, is 4th in the UFL. 10 touchdowns, but 11 picks, but he only had 1 last week. DJ Simeon on the carry, picking up 8 yards to start us off today. So far, your rushing leaders this season: Payne Price of San Diego we'll see on the Gauntlet. Shy Ronnie later tonight in prime time, but we will see Shanahan, who's in 2nd place. Wiseman in 3rd, Tillo in 4th here on the Gauntlet today, as Tillo will hand the ball off on a very delayed handoff to Simeon, and he is dropped for a loss in the backfield. Loss as Cassian Cross, who was complaining about playing time out of the dime looks, and got elevated into the starting lineup today and has made back-to-back tackles on the opening 2 plays. So how about that for adjustments from the New York Lightning? New York is undefeated. They are 4-0. There are 2 undefeated teams in the league. It's Austin and New York, and they play coming up in... Is it next week? Yeah, next week. Austin and New York. DJ Simeon, 3 straight runs to start the drive, only goes for a total of a yard, as that tackle's made by Kalen Polk, and Phoenix will quickly go 3 and out on their opening possession. New York's defense proving to be mighty. Fowler SFL, welcome back, Fowler. New players in Austin that we'll talk about in primetime tonight. Love the Austin Lone Stars, signed the Fowler brothers. And Ray Colston's got a $5 super chat. Hit that like button, everyone, and we certainly would love you to do that for us. as we try to get the UFL to as many people as possible. This punt is away from Phoenix on that little draw counter, among other running plays that were not effective for them to start the ball game. That's Declan James on the return for New York, and Joe Francis comes out for his opening possession. He, in his first season in New York, 945 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 2 picks. They don't ask him to do a ton, as this run game, led by Robert Henson Jr. and Jupiter Jennings, has been very good this season, picking up 6 yards. Speaking of the rushing yards for New York, they're 5th in the league, averaging 137.8 rushing yards a game. Phoenix is 13th, averaging 76.3 yards on the ground. 2nd down and 4, handoff to Henson Jr. Got a first down, tried to lower the shoulder, or lower the head rather, and pick up 6 yards. I gotta say, stealing the show this off-season week was Theodore Blackman, who created just a fantastic graphic in our general chat. If you didn't get a chance to look at it, I'll be referencing it all day because I liked it so much, and he got points for it because he did such a good job with it as Henson Jr.'s dropped in the backfield. He calls this game the upset watch. Perfect or exposed. New York looked flawless, but undefeated teams get tested when they least expect it. Phoenix has nothing to lose, and that's dangerous. Blackman's pick today is that New York survives, but this could shake them. 2nd down and 9, 8:38 to go in the first quarter, as New York is continuing on with their first possession. The handoff goes to Robert Henson Jr., who's looking for a hole, picks up 6 yards, 19 yards on 4 early carries for Henson Jr. Will set up a 3rd down and 3. So Joe Francis going to have a stacked look at the top of the screen. And they're going to split that stack, and he's going to throw a little spot route, and that's going to pick up 4 yards and a first down. The pass is hauled in by Latrell Harper, who a rare sighting from Harper, the pass-catching back of New York that's not named Henson or Jennings. That is unclaimed linebacker Tyler Pryor with the tackle for Phoenix. Grab asks, how do bingos work this week? It's a double vertical or a double horizontal, as Jupiter Jennings has a first down of the Phoenix 45. That means that you must get 2 horizontal bingos or 2 vertical bingos here on the Gauntlet. More information about the bingos this week is available on the UFL Discord server under the UFL Bingo section. So Jennings, Henson, and this running game off to a hot start for New York, who narrowly edged Rochester 16-11 in a dramatic game on Monday night. A false start, I believe, on Henson Jr. He says, oh, who, me? And that'll back up New York 5 yards to set up 1st and 15. Michaela says if both New York and Austin win this week, next week is going to be electric, and I couldn't agree more. The 2 teams that are undefeated, as Jennings picks up 9 yards on the run, Pryor with another tackle. That running game for New York is pounding Phoenix early on. They're really going after him. The rushing defense for Phoenix is 15th in the league, giving up 146 rushing yards per game on the ground, as Henson will get a couple more, and we'll meet that Phoenix defense, who's led by the captain cornerback Vinny Zonka, who joined the team last week. This is mostly an offensive powerhouse, but Zonka, number 28 there on the left, leads the way. That New York and Austin game is slated for coast to coast, the first game of a doubleheader next week. 3rd down and 4 as Joe Francis throws a screen to Robert Henson with blockers out in front, and Henson was 1 player away from picking up a touchdown on a screen pass. That is a 27-yard gain for RHJ, and New York's got a first down into the red zone. 5 games in 3 hours here on the Game Day Gauntlet, and coming up next is Dakota and Rochester. That game kicks off in about 12 minutes. Miami is last in rushing yards per game allowed, averaging 148.3, if you were curious. First down and 10 yards to go. 5:05 to go in the first quarter. Joe Francis fires it and had a wide open Eden Hart and misfired. Hart was all alone in the end zone. So far this season, Mike Churchill is your touchdown leader, as Hart tries to punch her ticket into the top 25 in receiving yards per game, as Jennings will pick up 2 more yards on his 3rd carry. 3rd down and 7 for New York. At the Phoenix 10-yard line, can the Skyhawks manage a stop? The first down is just ahead of the 2-yard line. As Joe Francis drops to throw, Francis just got it away, and that one is knocked away by Adam Watts. And Phoenix gets a half stop, which means we might get our first bingo numbers off the board today. 27 is the field goal, or what it's looking like for the New York Lightning. That pass was intended for Declan James, but swatted away by Watts. So a 27-yard field goal coming up for New York. You get your bingo numbers while we are on the double and the triple block, and then at the end of the broadcast up on the screen for you. This 27-yard field goal for the Lightning is up and good, and 27-3 are your first numbers off your bingo cards with 4:18 to go in the first quarter. Cyrus Foster, the kicker for New York, with the field goal good. Foster so far this season a perfect 10 for 10. One of 7 kickers that have not missed this season, but Foster has made and attempted more than any of those kickers. Foster's long is 52. A.J. Horn of Dakota with a 57-yard field goal, and that is the longest this season in the UFL. Twiggy says it's going to be a slow numbers day. I certainly hope not. We're only 17 minutes into the gauntlet. Plenty of time to pick up the numbers, as Phoenix's return from Kyler Piper gets up to the 22-yard line. The opening drive for Phoenix was 3 runs for 1 yard and a punt. When we see them open it up here, press coverage from New York, it's effective, and Simeon gets another carry and picks up 2 more to the 24-yard line. Dakota and Rochester kicking off in 8 minutes while the lineups are going on the screen. Michaela Foraker is here. She is at work currently. Boo Work champion. R. Henson is in the house. Fowler is here. Damon Simeon is here. Peter Sidorn is here. I'm going to get that right one of these days. Jesse Fritz and many others. There's a fumble. It is scooped up from 15 yards out, and the big fella has a New York touchdown. Carlos Berry, the defensive tackle, makes the play. Now the question is, will it be reviewed? Let's take another look at it. Tillo got that one popped free. That was Rowan Cassidy off the side of the line. Nobody blocked her, and the ball pops right out of Joe Tillo's hands, and a 15-yard fumble recovery for a touchdown puts New York up 9-0. What a start for the unbeaten Lightning with 3:38 to go in the first quarter. Phoenix doesn't even have a first down. That extra point nearly blocked. It is 10-0 New York. And Phoenix has got to wake up. .338 to go in the first quarter of play. And New York gets a touchdown, an unlikely touchdown from Carlos Berry, the defensive tackle, returning that fumble for a score. Makes it 10-0 Lightning as Phoenix is trying to hype themselves up. Had a great win last week against Minnesota. They really dominated that game from cover to cover, but the Chippers they are on a tough 3-game losing streak, and they have not looked good recently. Phoenix will try again from the 23-yard line on possession number 3. No grab, 15, not 50. It was a 15-yard fumble return for a score. Champion-ass win is the next game going to start. Dakota and Rochester starts in about 6 minutes. That will put us in the double block, 80-3 in total yards. New York on top of Phoenix early. Now they're going to go empty with Joe Tillo, and we might finally see Tillo throw a pass today. Tillo just gets rid of it, and he overshoots Andy Sands. He had pressure barreling down on him once again as we meet that New York defense. Rowan Cassidy, Michaela Foraker up front are the big names there. Linebackers still a work in progress for the Lightning, but Bjorn McLean, Kane Vasquez, Porcius Bacon in the secondary for New York. A vaunted secondary at that.
Here we go. 15 Lonnie. 15 Lonnie.
Tillo completing nearly 70% of his passes as the dump off is dropped. And he starts 0 for 2 today. I think that was Simeon coming out of the backfield. 3rd down and 10. It doesn't get any worse of a start here for Phoenix. They need an answer now.
56, right there, 56. I know he ain't got it.
4 receivers, 3 to the left. New York brought almost everybody, and then a missed tackle is going to get a first down for DR Simeon and Joe Tillo. My goodness, Simeon with a 15-yard catch, and boy, did Phoenix need that in one-on-one coverage down the field. And got the mismatch they wanted, a linebacker on a receiver inside, as Tillo had to get rid of that one quickly, but does convert for a Phoenix first down and a sigh of relief for the Skyhawks.
You must be getting tired of seeing me.
Out of the pistol, Tillo will flip it out to DJ Simeon, who had a monster game last week. 100 and let me see if I can get the numbers. That was 169 yards, the 5th highest of any rusher this season. 2nd down and 7. That is a dump off. Receiver fell over. That is DJ Simeon out of the backfield. So 3rd down and 5 coming up. That's Simeon's 2nd consecutive catch with 2:13 to go in the first quarter. Tillo dropping to throw. He's actually going to air it deep. He's got a wide open receiver. It's Andy Sands. It's a 57-yard touchdown for Phoenix. Over 50 hits on the cards. And how about Tillo airing it out for Andy Sands and the touchdown? He was gone. Beat Dawson off the line. You see the big mismatch. Sands is just such a monster down the field. And he makes a brilliant play for a Phoenix touchdown, and the Skyhawks get back in this.
The kicker on for the point after.
Again, a 57-yard score, and that extra point is good. So 10-7, 1:46 to go in the first quarter. That 57-yard strike is Joe Tillo's 2nd longest pass of the season. He had a 77-yarder. In fact, 4 different quarterbacks have had 77-yard touchdown throws this season. So 27, 3, 15, 10, over 50, and 7 are off the board. Again, you need a double horizontal or a double vertical today in the gauntlet to get the prize. So Fowler, to get a double bingo in the gauntlet, you would need 4 horizontal or 4 verticals. And then, of course, your card clears tonight for Coast to Coast, and then tomorrow in the Monday doubleheader of the Monday Night Spectacular and Monday Night Primetime. The countdown is on for Dakota and Rochester, as we've got a good one in New York with 1:42 to go in the first quarter. 10-7 Lightning on top of the Skyhawks. We'll see how New York's offense responds. Both teams now have 80 yards of total offense. This is Francis, and that pass is knocked away by Vinny Zonka. Incomplete. Francis now 2 of 5. Zonka getting in the mix for the Skyhawks defense.
Go now. 8, read. Double time. 4 down.
Handoff, Robert Henson out of the eye, and Henson, a tough man to bring down, picks up 7, 28 yards on his first 6 carries today. Will set up a 3rd down and 3. Adam Watts on the stop.
60 outlaw. I got you, boy.
Francis out of the gun.
Watch left. Tight. Watch left.
Back to throw. Joe Francis has to take a check down. Henson is ripped down by the face mask. A foolish penalty by Tyler Pryor. And that will give New York a fresh set of downs at their own 47-yard line. And that brings us to the second game of the Game Day Gauntlet. Welcome to Rochester, as the winless Pioneers, the last winless team in the UFL, will take on the 3-1 defending champion Dakota Rhinos, who are coming off of their first loss of the season in that championship rematch to the Dallas Talons, who we'll see in Monday Night Prime Time. We've got New York now into Phoenix territory at the 41. They've got a field goal and a fumble recovery for a touchdown as their 2 scores on the board. Jupiter Jennings on a cutback, going to break a tackle and get out to the 26-yard line. He's got 43 yards on 4 carries so far for New York. Rochester's in the all-red with the white lids. Dakota's in the all-white with the blue lids. And we've got back-to-back games in New York. Welcome to Boomtown, I should say, as we are underway in a double dip from the Empire State from the 7-yard line. It'll be Dakota getting the football first, and they will actually start with pretty good field position up to the 30-yard line. Into the first quarter in New York. Billy Flagg is the quarterback for Dakota, hoping to shake off a very difficult week against Dallas. He starts off with a rifling over the middle, an 18-yard pickup to Jake Riley for the first down at Dakota. Love that Dakota D on the kneecaps of on the knee pads of the jerseys for Dakota. CJ Zilligan, the UFL co-founder, always doing an excellent job. 2nd down and 7 for New York. Could they make it 3 for 3 on scoring drives? Technically 2 for 2 offensively, as Henson will get it up to the 20-yard line. Already 7 carries for Robert Henson. The handoff to Liam Seitz as a first down for Dakota up to the 41-yard line. His first carry goes for 11 yards. Great start for Dakota here on the road as Rochester continues to work on a number of different things. That is almost a one-handed beauty in between 2 defenders for Mark Anthony. Look up at the top of the screen as Phoenix's defense looks like it's going to get another stop here. Anthony almost brought that in. It was knocked away as he was sandwiched in the back of the end zone. I think that was Joe Beasley who ended up knocking that out. Unclaimed safety from Phoenix as Liam Seitz takes a draw. It is a first down. Dakota up to the 24, pickup of 17. This is a 37-yard field goal for New York, and that kick is good. The numbers are starting to roll now. 37 and 13 also off the board as the Lightning go up 13-7 on the Phoenix Skyhawks. your commentating crews tonight on UFL Coast to Coast, Austin and Minnesota, Eric Vincent and John Warren on the call, and then Miami at Vegas tonight. That is Josh Zirkle, as Billy Flagg lost the football. It is scooped up by Dakota. Woo! Palmer is credited for the sack, but that is Josh Zirkle and Ramos Lynn on the call, internet permitting. Well, what did Theodore Blackman say about this matchup, Dakota and Rochester? He calls it the get-right game for both teams. He says, no mercy. Dakota is rolling. Rochester is searching for anything. If Rochester doesn't start fast, this gets ugly quick. And he predicts Dakota comfortably. So far, so good for that prediction, as Billy Flagg goes to the bottom of the screen and will get Dakota in the red zone. That's a pickup of 10 yards. 3rd and 2 coming up as Flagg starts 2 for 2. Now Phoenix has the ball on their 4th offensive possession. They had a touchdown on the last drive. 3rd down and 2. The train horns are blaring in Rochester. Billy Flagg straight back. He's going to throw a floater. Doug Day. Oh, now that is incomplete, but that also looked very similar to a week 1 touchdown from Freddie Spencer of Dakota. Back of the end zone. I don't even know if he got 1 foot in. I don't think he got a second. Still a heck of a catch, though, by Doug Day. We'll see if Dakota challenges. You just never know. Phoenix has a 3rd down and 7 at the 28. 34-yard field goal for Dakota coming up, as Tillo will take a check down again down the sideline, but he runs out of real estate. 34-yard field goal is good for Dakota, and 34 is your new number off the board. So a 4th down and 4 for Phoenix. They're going to have to punt it away. Tillo surprisingly taking a lot of checkdowns. Bobbled, snap, it's blocked! New York recovers the blocked punt, still up and running to the 14-yard line. That's the first blocked punt of the season across the UFL. And New York's defense has a fumble recovery for a touchdown and a blocked punt that nearly went the distance, and the Lightning are right back in the red zone. That punt blocked by Portius Bacon. And the Lightning strike again. It took us until week 5 to get our first block punt, but there it is. Phoenix, even if it's not Joe Tillo with the interceptions, they just continue to be hit by the turnover bug, as Casey Mears on her first carry of the day picks up 8 yards. Jupiter Jennings down to the 12. New Orleans and Los Angeles is your next game to kick off. That comes your way in about 13 minutes time, as Wilson hands off to Mears. Mears has a first down after a pickup of 5. Floater to Francis, picks up 3 yards on the play. Eden Hart with the catch. 3rd down and 6 coming up for New York. Hand off Mears on a cutback to the left side. Gets 6 more. Francis on a 3rd down and 6 at the 9. Dumps it off short. Touchdown, New York. 9 is the new number off the board, and it's Eden Hart making up for lost time earlier in the game. Was wide open for a score. Hart just kind of leaks right behind that defensive front. Nobody saw her in the pathway to the end zone, as Casey Mears was trying to fight off would-be tacklers there. So Hart scores. Multiple views of that. An extra point will make it 20-7 New York. 8:03 to go in the first half, and that extra point is good for New York. So 9 and 20 off the board. 3rd down and 2. Ronnie Everidge got a carry and lost a yard. Edwards with the tackle, so a 4th and 3 decision for Rochester at their own 45-yard line. They're probably going to punt the football away. So now Phoenix, once again down multiple scores because of a turnover, has to fight back with 8:03 to go in the second quarter. This punt for Rochester is going to die inside the 5-yard line, down at the 3. Excellent punt there from Rochester to pin Dakota back, but unfortunately for the Pioneers, just a bunch of running and a punt on their opening possession. How will Phoenix respond after New York, similar to the game against Miami, have experienced just a flurry of points in a very quick timeline? We already mentioned earlier today that New York and Austin play next week, the only two teams that remain undefeated in the UFL this season. 6:08 to go in the first quarter. This is a dangerous ball to Doug Day, who has to fight to get out to about the 1.5-yard line. And again, wide open, Tillo finds Andy Sands for a first down. They cannot cover Andy Sands today. 106 passing yards for Phoenix. That's a first down for the Skyhawks. All alone, Andy Sands is a behemoth out there, 6'7". Tallest receiver in the league. 2nd and 12 at the 1-yard line now for Dakota, as Flag will dump that off to Tony Horn, who gets 11 on the play. 3rd down and 1 for Dakota. DJ Simeon is loose to the New York 44-yard line. 5 carries, 12 yards so far, 7:20 to go in the first half. 3rd down and 1 for Dakota. Can Rochester's defense find a stop? Handoff Liam Seitz. Seitz gets caught in the backfield and did not pick up the first down. Simmons on the stop, and on 4th and inches deep in their own territory, I think they're going to have to punt the football away. 3rd down and 3 coming up for Phoenix. 6:50 to go in the first half. 9 minutes away from kickoff between New Orleans and Los Angeles. Yeah, 4th and inches. You got to punt it away. No challenge from Dakota, so Rochester's defense forces a 3 and out. Tillo got absolutely crushed and delivered a beautiful ball to the sideline. Chris Andrews to the New York 36-yard line with his first catch of the day, matches his jersey number. An 11-yard pickup. I think that was Rowan Cassidy again unblocked off the edge. But an absolutely perfect pass from Tillo. 1st and 10 for Rochester at their own 36-yard line with 4:33 to play. The handoff goes to Mears, and not much doing there. That was Malachi Pfister on the stop. Joe Tillo corner route caught and got the 2 feet in bounds. That is Andy Sands again to the New York 16-yard line. They do not have an answer for Sands in the first half. 4 catches for 104 yards.
Set 60 Pittsburgh.
Sands so far this season, a season high of 124 yards. He's 21 away from beating that just here in the first half alone. 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. This is Tillo firing to the near side. That's Andrews to the 9-yard line. Jesse Fritz with a $5 super chat. How tall? 6'7". Yeah, I missed that one. 3rd down and 8. Matt Wilson is going to be sacked. O'Neal with the takedown. No, not Brooke O'Neal, but Blake O'Neal for Dakota, and surprisingly, it's not a Pfister with the sack for Dakota. Blake O'Neal beats a double team and drops Matt Wilson down. Dakota's defense off to a good start. 2nd down and 3 at the 9-yard line for Phoenix. They're going to flip it around the end. That is, I think, Mateus Sansbino to the 5-yard line, picking up a first down. It was Sansbino. Good play call there from Phoenix. First and goal with the 5 with 5 minutes to go in the first half. Now Dakota's got trouble with a snap, and Dakota gets a block and a 12-yard scoop and score. Touchdown, Dakota.
Oh, yeah, that's a score on you. That's how you score on you.
Whoa! We haven't had a punt block all season long. We've had 2 in the first 40 minutes of the game day gauntlet, and Trey Deuce gets the block for Dakota, flying in right there to make the play. His first block punt of his career. Simeon and the Skyhawks are going to have a 3rd down and goal. That is a 12-yard return, punt return block for a score for Dakota, and they're 1 point away from making it 10-0. Extra point is good. Unbelievable. 3rd down and goal from the 3. A little touch pass, flip to DR Simeon. Touchdown, Phoenix. And the Skyhawks strike right back. Got to catch up here on my cards. So we got 27, 3, 15, 10, over 50, 7, 37, 13, as the extra point is good for Phoenix, 34, 9, 20, 12, and now 14 for the Phoenix Skyhawks. That was a 3-yard score, by the way. 20-14. Very interesting game in New York. You've got the Lightning, who have a block punt, which they turned into a touchdown a few plays later, and a fumble return for a score. But Phoenix's offense has 2 passing touchdowns from Joe Tillo, no interceptions, 1 to Simeon and 1 to Andy Sands, and the Skyhawks are right in the thick of that one, down just 6 on the road against the undefeated Skyhawks. This is Matt Wilson to the sideline. Caught. That is his first throw and completion of the day. Dejon Wright picks up 18 yards. And Rochester's got a first down with 2:43 to go in the quarter. New Orleans and Los Angeles comes your way in about 5 minutes right here on the Game Day Gauntlet as you see Jupiter Jennings updated numbers, 6 carries for 48 yards. Dakota's now challenging the catch on the sideline as Robert Henson picks up 8. That looks like a catch to me. Unless the ball, nope, ball didn't hit the ground. I think the elbow may have even gotten in as well. All right, let's go to New York. 2nd down and 2. Joe Francis near sideline and misfired. Francis just 6 of 11 for 55 yards. Phoenix has been the more explosive offense today. 3rd down and 2. Dakota did lose the challenge, so they're going to lose a timeout there, and it'll be 1st down Rochester at the 43. .252 to go in the first half. The handoff goes to Henson Jr. That'll pick up a 1st down.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
2:42 to go in the first quarter there. The handoff to Casey Mears for Rochester. Gets it up to midfield. 30 yards on 7 carries for Casey.
You ready? Check line 54. Line 54. Hey, let's get off the
Handoff, Casey Mears going backwards. Mears 5th in the league, averaging 100 yards per game. As the Lightning have another 1st down. Mark Anthony with the catch. Mears hauled down by Manaka Pfister. 2-minute warning in New York, 20-14. Lightning on top of the Skyhawks at their own 49-yard line. We'll see if they have another opportunity for points here before the half. 3rd down and 6. Wilson, 2nd throw of the day and 2nd completion. 1st down. That is Justin Reside on the catch to the Dakota 34-yard line. 1st down Rochester. Second down and 1 for New York. 1:56 on the clock, but it is stopped. This is Francis to the sideline and rolling out of bounds. Will not stop the clock. That was Henson Jr. with the catch, already his third for 32 yards. Handoff to Mears, not much there as Dakota's run defense stifles Casey. 28 yards on 9 carries so far for Mears. Francis to the sideline, caught, broken tackle, and Declan James able to run out of bounds to stop the clock. Second down and 1 at the 28. Mears another carry and another wallop in the backfield from Dakota. That was Nuke Raiden. Check that, Suki Padri on the tackle for the Rhinos. Second and 1 for New York. 1:28 to go in the first half. This is Francis floating that one over top of Henson Jr., but way overthrown, and it's incomplete. Rochester called for a false start. That one on Tom Vincent, it looks like. Star left tackle for Rochester. Third down and 14. Matt Wilson trying to get him out of a jam once again. It is incomplete. Meanwhile, New York's got a fresh set of downs at the Phoenix 26-yard line as the Skyhawks are desperate for a stop. 1 second left in the first quarter as Wilson was really going for it all. Evan Wood down the field, kind of jogging calmly there. Rick Kuhn had a chance at an interception, but instead just gets the deflection. The countdown is on for New Orleans and Los Angeles as we're about to hit the triple box here on the Game Day Gauntlet. Joe Francis is going to be sacked at the 33-yard line. It is 2nd and 17. Rochester will try to pin Dakota once again inside the 5. This one will hop at the 8. That was dangerous to being touched first by Rochester. That's the end of the quarter there. And it's the start of something new in Los Angeles, where LA welcomes in New Orleans today. The 3-1 Aztecs, the 1-3 New Orleans Claws. Welcome to the triple box of the Game Day Gauntlet. Dakota inside the 10, not for long. Deep shot for New York is caught at the 1-yard line. Got to get another look at that one. We'll see it over on another screen here in a moment. New York is 1 yard away from points. New York is about to kick off there. Oh, that's a great catch. First and goal at the 1 yard line. This is Joe Francis on a check down, and Phoenix gets the stop. Oh, thank you, Ellie. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you. 30 seconds to go for New York. A second and goal and just one timeout. The handoff goes to Liam Seitz for Rochester, and now Los Angeles has a pretty good return. Fergus Scorch Henderson up to the 32-yard line, making the play for LA, and that's where they will start with the football. Second down and goal, handoff on a delay to Henson, and did not get in. New York has one timeout, no time for panic. Third down and goal at the 1 coming up. Oh, man, Rochester throws back. Billy Flagg, Palmer rips him down. Second sack of the day for Rochester. Third down and goal, 10 seconds to go for New York. Joe Francis in zone. Touchdown, Lightning just before the half. That's a 1 yard score. And that's Jazz Aldmere. Play that sweet, sweet music. As Al Ingram gets the carry for Los Angeles to pick up 5 to start the day. Flag on a screen. 3rd and 14. Got a couple of blocks. Not much more. Rochester's defense with the stop. 27 is already off the board, but 1 was not. And 1 is your next Hugo number off the board today. That was a 14-play drive. Joe Francis on that drive, 8 of 11. And New Orleans has an interception on the opening series. Pass intercepted. by Clinton Florence. And how about that for New Orleans defense? They have been really struggling. They gave up a 40-burger to St. Louis last week, who had previously been struggling offensively. Made a lot of adjustments to third down defense and offense in particular for New Orleans this week, and they start on the road with an interception to the Los Angeles 48-yard line. 5 seconds to go in the first half. Can Tillo make something happen? Can. 14 of 16 for 162 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. But I don't think Phoenix's defense got to stop all half. Andy Sands with 115 yards on 6 grabs, and we have reached halftime there. Casey Mears looking for a hole. Gets to the Dakota 46-yard line. 9:12 to go in the first half, as New Orleans looks to do something with their opening possession following an interception. Second down and 11. A handoff to Ray Chapatulas up to the 41-yard line of LA. A pickup of 7. Casey Mears has a first down for Rochester to the Dakota 39-yard line. Blackman 3rd and 3. Screen to Ray. First down to the 28-yard line. Picks up 13 yards. All that effort we made in the offseason to improve the run blocking of receivers has certainly helped out. The screen game giving us yet another dimension of our offensive books around the league. Matt Wilson's pass is incomplete, so that'll bring up 3rd down and 8. Start of the second half in New York. 27-14 Lightning, and New York gets the football back. The Phoenix defense is desperate for a stop here. Both Rochester and New Orleans are across the 50, as Blackman will throw it off into the flats, and it's dropped by Chapatulas. Let's go back to Rochester, where Matt Wilson down the field has an open receiver, and the Pioneers are into the red zone against the Rhinos. 110 total yards for Rochester. I think that's Najee Anderson with the catch for the Pioneers. And just the second pick of Ronnie Shanahan's season, as he mentions in the chat. This one did not go for pick 6 like the first one did against Austin. Sorry, Ronnie, just reminded me of it. 3rd down and 10 for Emmanuel Blackman and New Orleans. At the bottom of the screen, Blackman is looking, and he throws an interception. That is right on the UFL logo. Rain Rie all the way for 80 yards. Touchdown, LA. One good interception deserves another. And Emmanuel Blackman just did not throw that to the sideline, and Devin Sparks stood no chance. LA with a big-time touchdown. New York is across the 50-yard line thanks to Mark Anthony, as Anthony and Francis really loading up that Florida Shark connection recently in this game. Phoenix's defense still, I do not believe, has a stop in this one. Rain Rie with the score. 3rd down and 10 Rochester. They're going to come up short of the first down, but it looks like maybe a field goal is in order for the Pioneers, playing yet another low-scoring game. Nuke Raiden on the tackle. As Francis throws, and it's actually incomplete. Jazz Aldmere was the intended receiver. That's a tough break for New Orleans, who had some momentum off of the early interception. This is a 23-yard field goal for Rochester. The kick is up, and it's good, as Joe Francis will take off on a rare run, pick up about 9. So 23 is off the board now here in Hugo today. Wichita and Salt Lake kicks off at about 12 minutes, as we will be in the quad box make sure that you've got all your bingo numbers that have been previously called, because they won't come back up on the screen until the triple box returns, and Phoenix and New York has gone final. Blackman is 1 of 3 for 13 yards and a pick to start. Blackman this season, 5 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 74% completion percentage. So that's good, but the turnovers, like Joe Tillo, have been a little bit of a problem for New Orleans as Blackman dumps that off to a wide-open receiver over the middle of the 37-yard line. And hey, don't look now, but the Phoenix Skyhawks just got to stop, and that punt is wonky, blowing all the way to the other logo in New York, to the 20. Pryor has to call for a fair catch. So there you go, Phoenix. You got your first stop of the day. Now can the offense respond? Sands with 115 receiving yards in that first half as Ray gets her third carry for New Orleans at the bottom of the screen. Nobody is across the 50 right now, but Tillo's got another completion up to the 34. Deep shot, and that is open. That is Billy Flagg with a beautiful ball to all the way to the 22-yard line. Mike Coco goes for 53 yards and a Dakota first down. That was a rocket launcher from Billy Flagg, and I mean perfectly placed. There's another. That's a tough catch from D.R. Simeon as Tillo moves the chains again for a first down for Phoenix. 205 total yards for the Skyhawks. Simeon's got 4 grabs, 44 yards. As Phoenix approaches 200 total yards of offense on a 3rd down and 7, Blackman's pass is incomplete. So it'll be 4th down for New Orleans. This is inside the 10. That is a down at the 1 result for Tony Horn. The tight end for Dakota almost got the touchdown. 1st and goal. Horn, as you can see on the pylon cam, wow, the pylon cam got punched into the sky, and then we got to look up at Tony Horn Jr. That was a great pylon cam look from our crew over there in Rochester. All right, 1st and goal at the 1, 5:20 to go in the first half. It's going to be a Billy Flagg pass. Billy Flagg is sacked at the 4-yard line. Simmons with a takedown. That's the 3rd sack of the day for Rochester. Tillo over the middle. That's Sands again at the 37-yard line. Andy Sands, 124 is his season high. He just beat it. 132 yards on 7 receptions. Porcius Bacon with the tackle to add to the blocked field goal. Tillo dropping a throw, down 27-14, and takes a sack. That is Barry, who had as Liam Seitz has a 4-yard touchdown for Dakota, but Barry, who had the fumble recovery for a touchdown earlier in the game, gets a sack on Tillo. 4 is your next number off the board for number 44, who runs it in for Dakota, and they're about to go up 17-3. 17 would be a new number. New Orleans is challenging this Los Angeles catch on the sideline, and it looks like they might lose that one as well. McKay Breeze does a nice job tapping the feet. The extra point for Dakota is up and good, and 17 also is off the board. Tillo on a 3rd down and 14 in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. That pass is caught at the 22-yard line. That is D.R. Simeon with the catch. The jumping jack, Selly. How about that from Simeon on the sideline? Made a couple of very difficult catches. 2nd and inches coming up for Los Angeles after New Orleans fails on the challenge. Wichita Salt Lake kicking off in 8 minutes. Dakota's up on Rochester 17-3. Phoenix is threatening New York after their first stop of the day. That pass is hauled into the 11-yard line by number 11, Chris Andrews. Tillo is 20 of 22. That's Andrews' 3rd catch of the day, and Bjorn McLean with his 4th tackle. L.A., thanks to McKay Breeze, is inside New Orleans territory. 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line for DJ Simeon, who has just 14 yards on 9 carries. He had that one breakout performance, but he's also had 3 games where he's really struggled to pick up much of anything on the ground. Handoff to Al Ingram, and Ingram is down to the New Orleans 33-yard line, 2nd down and 4. Dejon Wright with the catch for Matt Wilson. 2nd down and 11. Tillo over the middle. Touchdown, a 12-yard catch for Hakeem Manu-Maluna. Phoenix has struck within 1 score once again. 12 was already off the board. Long hair don't care for Hakeem Manu-Maluna. And how about Phoenix striking back, making a game of this once again? They have not led in this game, but they keep fighting. It's 27-20, and the extra point for Phoenix is up and good, and 21 is off the board. A deep shot for Matt Wilson down the field on 3rd and short is incomplete, and it looks like Rochester's going to have to punt again. Things not looking great for the Pioneers up in New York. Just frustrating offense all around. 47-yard field goal for Los Angeles. That kick is good. So we got a 47 off the board. And it's 10-0 LA. That's our first number in the 40s off the board. YOUFL Nation loving all these numbers. Couldn't agree more. Robert Henson, 10 carries, 45 yards today. 27-21 New York. 4:10 to go in the 3rd quarter. Phoenix actually has more total yards than the Lightning. Liam Seitz, 52 yards on 6 carries so far for Dakota. That pass is caught from Joe Francis for the 1st down. LA's up on New Orleans 10-0. So right now, all the favorites are winning. 5 minutes to go before Wichita and Salt Lake kicks off. By the way, this is what Theodore Blackman's beautiful graphic this week said about New Orleans and Los Angeles. Don't overlook the hungry. They call it a trap game for LA. LA is the better team on paper, but New Orleans is desperate, and desperate teams get reckless. And the pick from Blackman is LA, but much closer than expected. Handoff to Jennings, handoff to Seitz simultaneously, and they both get about 8 yards on the pickup. 3:26 to go in the 3rd quarter. It's going to be a 3rd down and 2 for Dakota. Up 17-3. They could really put the clamps on the Pioneers. 2nd and 7. A long ball from New Orleans is incomplete, so 3rd down coming up there. This is a 3rd down run from Seitz, and he is dragged down by E.K. Vinson. That might be the best individual tackle of a 3rd down this season. We won't get a replay because we've hit the 2-minute warning, but what a stop for the Pioneers. 3rd down and 7 for Emmanuel Blackman. Deep shot down the field is complete to the LA 43-yard line. Fresh set of downs for New York. There goes Robert Henson Jr. down to the 28, and Phoenix is saying, look, we got 1 stop. Can we buy another here? Beasley with the tackle. What a throw from Blackman right across the Aztec logo at midfield. At the 28-yard line, Rochester will start their next drive down 14. Jupiter Jennings on a 3rd and short has a 1st down. Casey Mears, 13 carries, 46 yards as Ray picks up a couple. Just 16 yards on her first 5 carries. All right, let's go back to New York where the Lightning are in scoring position. Check down to about the 19-yard line. Wilson's pass caught by Evan Wood. Right, back and forth from LA to New York as New Orleans has a 1st down to the 26-yard line. That's Devin Sparks with the catch. 1:23 to go in the 1st quarter there. Joe Francis will fire after Phoenix brought a little bit of pressure. Couldn't get there. Pick up 3 yards on the play. Another fresh set of downs as Declan James makes his 3rd catch. New York has gone on some very lengthy drives here in the 2nd half. 27-21, 30 seconds to go in the third. No huddle for Rochester. Upper right, upper left. That pass is knocked away, nearly intercepted. Evan Woods got a first down on 3rd and 4 for Rochester, and that drive will continue. All right, 2nd down and 10 for New Orleans. That's Ray Chapatulis with her 7th carry. New York's in the red zone. We go there at the 15-yard line of Phoenix. The handoff goes to Robert Henson. Henson makes a couple people miss down to the 11-yard line. Rochester's got a first down to the Dakota 33. Back to Los Angeles. 3rd down and 3, New Orleans at the 19, but that is the end of the first quarter of play. That means Wichita and Salt Lake's about to kick off any minute now as we await that countdown. 3rd down and 5, back to New York with 2 seconds to go in the third quarter, and it's the end of the third quarter there. So we've got New Orleans is going to come out of the quarter break first. 3rd down and 3 at the LA 19-yard line. Play fake from Emmanuel Blackman, and that pass is caught for a New Orleans touchdown. A 19-yard score for Emmanuel Blackman, and that's Cameron Bailey on the catch. It is New Orleans on the board. Let's go back to Phoenix, where Joe Francis is going to be taken down at the 17-yard line. That's a half stop for Phoenix. Meanwhile, Dijon Swan has Rochester into the red zone at the 11-yard line for the Pioneers as we near the end of the first half in Western New York. Extra point for New Orleans is good. What a throw from Blackman. They put in some of that play action stuff last week, and they get a 19-yard score out of it. All right, to Rochester now. 40 seconds to go, all 3 timeouts. Wilson back to throw from 11 yards away, and that ball is caught. It's low to Najee Anderson down to about the 4-yard line. Timeout with 32 seconds to go. The field goal is good for New York. Now that is a 30 off the board, and let's get the yardage on that. That was a 35-yard field goal, so 30 and 35 off the board. The Lightning lead 30-21. Rochester is at the 4-yard line with 28 seconds to go, and that is a Pioneer touchdown. Dijon Swan makes it 17-10. So all the teams give us some kind of score there. And now we hit the quad box, and we're ready to go in Salt Lake, where the Hornets in the lower right-hand corner of your screen welcome in Wichita. Salt Lake in the black and yellow, and Wichita in the green, white, and black. So a flurry of scoring there just before we hit the quad box. The extra point is good for Rochester. Good 2-minute drive there from the Pioneers. 30-21, New York. 10-7, LA. 17-10, Dakota. And kickoff is just seconds away between Salt Lake and Wichita. Chicago and San Diego kicking off in about 19 minutes. It's like the walls are closing in. Joe Tillo dropping a throw, and Tillo will take the check down. Wichita is going to get the football first. Both Wichita and Salt Lake are 2-2. This is what Blackman had to say about this game. He calls it the dogfight. Who are you really? 2 500 teams, no excuses left. This is identity, toughness, and execution. Calls Wichita a slight lean for victory as Solberg's pass flies out of bounds, looking for Timothy Shea. Bush just got a sack for New Orleans. That is Fabian Bush, the defensive end. Liam Seitz off and running to the bottom of the screen. BK Solberg so far this season, 1,107 yards, 6 touchdowns, just 1 interception. 2nd down and 10. Solberg gets crushed, takes the check down, and picks up 6. Tillo, top left corner of the screen, fresh set of downs, and now it's up to the New York. It's right at midfield. Wells with his second catch. 10:05 to go. Phoenix needs a response. Dakota's got 22 seconds to go in the first half. Can they get into some kind of scoring range with 2 timeouts left? That pass is caught near midfield. Tillo's pass incomplete. It's 3rd down and 4. And 17 seconds, 1 timeout gives Dakota 1 more play inbounds before they'd have to burn that last timeout. How about Dwayne Knight with a 30-yard catch for Wichita? As Ingram gets his 9th carry for 48 yards. LA trying to answer back the New Orleans touchdown. Billy Flagg going to take off and run, and that's not going to get him anywhere near field goal range. Now Cornish getting involved with Rochester, who's got 4 sacks up front. Surprisingly, none from the star of that defensive front, Sam Swatowski. BK Solberg's got another catch down the field. This is Jamichael Morris with the catch. It's 4th and 1. Phoenix is going for it, and New York just got to stop. That ball was dumped over the middle, and it just wasn't a whole lot there. Phoenix's drive will empty out just inside New York territory. Dakota just runs out the end of the first half, and they will take a 17-10 lead into the break. Now all the pressure is on Phoenix's defense after that 4th and 1 failed conversion. 1st and 10 for BK Solberg, and he takes a check down, actually loses a yard as Wichita is making quick work of Salt Lake on their opening drive. Salt Lake has really struggled this year. They're giving up the 4th most rushing yards per game. As Los Angeles is down inside the 5-yard line, Victor Washington explodes for a 1st down and goal. He's their change of pace back in LA, and it looks like the Aztecs are going to counter New Orleans with something here. Our eyes are on 3rd down and 4, upper left-hand corner of the screen. New York up 9. Phoenix needs a stop, and that pass is caught, but did Declan go backwards? He did! So Declan is ruled backwards. So it's 4th and inches, and that is a 4-yard touchdown, the 3rd of the day today. Ronnie Shanahan to Lars Bazar, and Los Angeles answers a score with a one of their own. It was ruled that Declan went back of his own volition. So now it's 4th down and inches. Solberg to the end zone, intercepted. And Salt Lake just barely gets the kneel down in the end zone. Brooke O'Neal, wise not to return that out of the end zone, drops the knee right at the goal line, and what a stop for Salt Lake's defense that has needed a come-to-Jesus moment this season. Joe Tillo, 25 of 30, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, but did have the fumble early. Gets the football back with 7:47 to go in the 3rd quarter. Dumps that one off into the flat, and Phoenix will be in the no huddle here, down 9, I do believe. So Jay Carter and the Hornets will get the football back off of the Solberg turnover, just his 2nd interception of the season. Ronnie Shanahan also had his 2nd earlier today. Matt Wilson's pass is cut over the middle. That's Dejon Knight. There's so many. Dejon Swan, Dejon Knight. I've never noticed for Rochester. Very similar names there. He's got 4 grabs. And the Pioneers have a 1st down at the 37-yard line. They've weathered the storm in New York. Handoff to Mears, picks up 3. New Orleans will get the ball back after Los Angeles countered a touchdown with one of their own. There were no new numbers on those scores. The last new numbers was the 35-yard field goal for New York that gave them 30 on the board. Screen pass for Phoenix gets it up to the 48-yard line. 6.5 to go as Wilson's pass in between 2 receivers. Not going to make that happen. Big number 89 for Salt Lake with the reception. As we fix our rosters to tell you that is Moses Hill with the reception. Ray Chapatulas moves the sticks. 3rd down and 7 for Wilson to the sideline. That is incomplete. Looks like Rochester's going to have to punt. All right, back to Phoenix. This game has the least time remaining. 6:08 to go in the 4th quarter. Phoenix is down 30-21. This pass over the middle is in and out of the hands and incomplete. So now it's 3rd down and short for Phoenix. Rochester's got a punt. They already had one blocked earlier today. Tillo on a 3rd down and 3. That was very tight coverage. And is it going to be another 4th down conversion? Rochester for the 2nd time today, 3rd time today, pins Dakota inside their own 10-yard line. Oh, that was actually really great coverage on D.R. Simeon. So another 4th down coming up for Phoenix with 5:59 to go in the 4th quarter. Ball's on their own 47. It's a 4th and a long 3 here for Tillo. And he has one-on-one coverage down the field, and it is overshot just a bit and incomplete. Another 4th down stop for New York, and the Lightning will take back over, still up 9. 4th and inches for New Orleans. Will they go for it on 4th down? It's 4th and 1 for Salt Lake. Will they go for it in Wichita territory after the Sauce K catch? New Orleans will choose to punt on 4th and inches. That's a little bit surprising, just beyond midfield. What will Salt Lake do? And that punt, not necessarily the best, down to the 16-yard line. Salt Lake is going to go for it on 4th down and 1 at the Wichita 39 on their opening possession. Play action. Jay Carter fooled almost everybody. Sauce K wide open for a 1st down. Jay Carter is 4 for 4 on the opening drive for Salt Lake and moves the chains for a 1st. Joe Tillo, 5:18 to go, and Phoenix gets a sack. That defense has stepped up. Phoenix just has not been able to put it together at any point today. Their defense was really struggling in the first half. Now it's been much better in the second half, but the offense has struggled to get going. 1st and 10 for Salt Lake in the red zone. Chris Allure down to the 16-yard line. 3 yards on his first 3 carries. 2nd down and 12 for Dakota. Billy Flagg off a play action. Lets it rip near side, and that is incomplete. Well defended. Looking for Coco on a comeback route. 3rd down and 12 at the 12 for Dakota. Hand off to Chris Allure, lower right-hand corner of your screen. He's got a 1st and goal coming up for Salt Lake following the interception. 4:35 to go in the 1st quarter. Chicago and San Diego are our final game of the day, kicking off in about 10 minutes as New York is trying to put away Phoenix with 4:46 to play. Hand off to Allure, not going anywhere. 2nd and goal, Casey Reed, who is a top 5 sacker this season, makes it TFL. Francis over the middle on a 3rd down and 21. And believe it or not, Phoenix gets another stop. Now, this would be a 52-yard field goal for New York. Dakota and Los Angeles, 2 teams winning their games, have to punt it away. 2nd and goal at the 11-yard line. A little wheel route pass overthrown. That's Carter's 1st incompletion. See what New York does here with Cyrus Foster. They are going to kick a 52-yard field goal for Foster. That would tie Foster's longest of the season. And that field goal for New York is true. And 33 comes off the board. That is a touchdown, Salt Lake. Mia Pangori with the score. She continues her pace atop the leaderboards. Now 6 receiving touchdowns for Pangori. That ties her with Mike Churchill. That was an 11-yard score for Pangori in the back of the end zone. And they just lost her. 11 is also a new number off the board. So 33 and 11, 2 new numbers off the board. As New York extends their lead ever so slightly, 33-21 with 4:05 to go. Salt Lake now up 7-0, a 12-play, 82-yard drive. Rochester's got the football back, trailing 17-10. Nice moves from Phoenix, getting the ball up to the 31-yard line. And on 3rd down and 10 for New Orleans, wide open down the field. It is Osbury, 78 yards, touchdown, Claus. That is the 3rd longest receiving touchdown this season. And the longest for Emmanuel Blackman and Michael Ausberry today. Another over 50 score. And New Orleans showing some fireworks offensively here today in Los Angeles. Rochester has to punt it away. Phoenix is in no huddle with 3:42 to go in the fourth quarter. And Tillo is sacked on a corner blitz. That is Dawson coming up with the sack, 3rd down and 11. Seitz 13 carries, 70 yards and a touchdown today. Solberg 4 of 6 for 51 yards and a pick on that drive. Fowler, the numbers will return at the conclusion of the Dakota and Rochester game when we're back in the triple box. I gave you all fair warning. We give you so much entertainment, we cannot possibly fit the bingo numbers on the screen in the quad box. That is nearly intercepted. Billy Flagg, a dangerous ball. Only 3 incompletions today for Billy, but that one was terrifying. 4th and 11 for Phoenix, and Tillo's pass is knocked away. That is 3 fourth down stops in the fourth quarter for the New York Lightning defense, and Phoenix's offense crumbles in the fourth quarter. That's a tough catch to make, though, for Chris Andrews. Jake Riley's got a first down for Dakota at the 43-yard line. Joe Francis, 21 of 31 for 206 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions today. He has been great. 3rd down and 16 coming up for BK Solberg and the Wichita Flyers, who are off to a slow start in Salt Lake. Solberg just got rid of that. Broken tackle and a block down the sideline. That is a fantastic play for Wichita to move the chains. That is Dwayne Knight's 2nd catch and probably his best of the season. Cassian Cross with that 4th down deflection. There goes Jupiter Jennings around the left side of the 19-yard line. Timeout, New York. Let's go 2nd down and 10 for Dakota. The handoff goes to Seitz, and he gets a few. 3rd down coming up for the Rhinos. Ronnie Shanahan, 9th completion of the day, hits Lars Bazar for the 3rd time today. That's a first down for Los Angeles with 1:20 to go. Deep shot down the sideline for Solberg is caught by Timothy Shea, who was the miracle man last week against Vegas with that touchdown catch off a deflection. Shanahan's pass is caught again down to the New Orleans 29-yard line. That is Bazar with his 4th catch. We have New York. Oh, man, that was almost intercepted by Han Tayumi of Rochester. We have New York in the red zone with 2:25 to go. Solberg's got Wichita down to the 11-yard line. And Dakota's got a punt again. Rochester's defense stepping up big time in the second half. Timeout for Phoenix. 4 minutes away from kickoff between Chicago and San Diego. Phoenix is now out of timeouts with 2:21 to play. LA is inside the 30. That's where we're going to go here. 1st down and 10, 44 seconds left. LA has all 3 timeouts. Shanahan is going to be sacked in the backfield, a loss of 8 yards. Hand off to Jennings inside the 5, down to the 3-yard line for New York. Phoenix only has the 2-minute warning left. They got to hold him to 3. Delro gets down to the 8-yard line. Chris Delro, the starting running back for Wichita. Brooke O'Neal with the tackle, also has an interception today. 41 seconds left, 2 timeouts for Los Angeles, just outside of field goal range. Shanahan fires over the middle. That is complete. And another timeout coming for LA. All right, let's go to Solberg in the empty right now. 2nd down and 6 inside the 10-yard line. Floats that one a little too tall. That picks up just 1 yard, and that'll be the end of the first quarter in Salt Lake. 7-0 Hornets. Back to New York, 1st down and goal. 2 minutes to go at the 3-yard line. The handoff is stopped. And not many options for Phoenix here. You can't let them score a touchdown. Shanahan going deep inside the 5-yard line, down to the 3. Remember, 10-second runoff for Los Angeles. Down to 22 seconds left, up 17-14. Second and goal at the 2-yard line for New York. And the handoff goes to Jupiter Jennings, and that is a score. So Jennings has a 2-yard touchdown for New York. That puts a new number on your bingo cards. 3rd down and 6 at the 7 for Solberg. In the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Wichita. That is R.J. Gilmer with the score. They're an extra point away from tying that game at 7. 1st down and goal, 6 seconds to go. Los Angeles back of the end zone, touchdown. 3-yard score for Scorch Henderson, and L.A. plans out a perfect 2-minute drive to end the first half. Los Angeles is going to go up 24-14 if they can hit that extra point. The extra point is good for New York, and that is 40 off the board. The number 40 off the board, 2 off the board, 11 off the board, and 33 since the numbers were taken off your screen. And the extra point for Los Angeles is good, so that means 24 is off the board as you prepare your double vertical or double horizontal here on the Gauntlet. Let's get a reset here because we had a flurry of activity. We've got Chicago and San Diego kicking off at about 1 minute. New York leads Phoenix 40-21 with 1:21 to go. 17-10 Dakota. 24-14 Los Angeles, who once again answers a New Orleans touchdown. And 7-7 Wichita in Salt Lake. We are going to go to, let's see. We're going to go to New York, where Phoenix now doesn't have much hope left. No timeouts. Down 19.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Joe Tillo, rather, completes that one up to the 38-yard line. Emmanuel Blackman's pass is caught at the 32-yard line. That's going to be the end of the first half in Los Angeles, as Jay Carter's got a completion of Mia Pangori to the 48-yard line. Tillo with 55 seconds left, all day to throw, and throws an interception. Pass is intercepted by Porcius Bacon. What a day for Bacon. And we go to the 5th game of the Game Day Gauntlet. San Diego and Chicago about to get underway. Chicago in the baby blue pants today, the navy and electric blue for San Diego. You can see the conclusion of Phoenix and New York on its own channel with 54 seconds left. We've got an eye on it right now, but New York with that interception will kneel that one out. And check that, Bridwell with the interception for New York. My apologies. Chicago and San Diego kicking off here in the Game Day Gauntlet as the quad box rolls on. We got a 10, a 7, and 2 ties right now on the Gauntlet here in week number 5. That kickoff is underway in San Diego. Chicago's going to get the ball first, and let's go back to Dakota and Rochester, where they have been stuck at 17-10 much of the day. 10:40 to go in the 4th quarter of play. New York is the first team to get to 5-0. Adam Wiseman just took a sack. Cedric Blassingame for San Diego gets off to a hot start. Billy Flagg taking off. He's got a first down to the 31-yard line as Rochester looks for a stop. Sauce K's got a first down to the Wichita 13-yard line. The Hornets are back in the red zone as Carter continues his success. New Orleans has the ball to start the 3rd quarter on a 2nd down and 4. Billy Flagg is going to be strip sacked. It is recovered by Dakota, but that was Switowski coming in to make a brilliant play. That was almost the turnover that Rochester needed. Ripped the ball out of Billy Flagg's hands, and Billy actually the one able to pick up his own fumble. Great play by Switowski. Let's go to Salt Lake, where Hopkins just got a carry. 40-21 is the final. New York over Phoenix to start the day. 2nd and 9 for Salt Lake, 8:30 to go. Another big hit from Rochester's defense, playing their butts off. 3rd and long for the Pioneers. New Orleans has it up to the LA 35. Pangori breaks a tackle. She'll get to the 7-yard line rather. Adam Wiseman on 3rd down, incomplete. And Chicago goes 6 yards backwards on their opening drive in San Diego. Flag on a 3rd down and long, has to take an ugly check down, and that wasn't even complete. Another stop for Rochester's defense. Now they need their offense to answer. Jay Carter, 7 yards out, and diving into the end zone for the score is Patrick Anderson. Heck of an effort for Salt Lake, as that is another Hornet lead. Lower right-hand corner of the screen. That is a brilliant effort from Anderson. Dakota, a very short punt. Oh, that's a great look from the pylon, Pam. Anderson with the extension. Beautifully done. Ray's got New Orleans across the 50-yard line as New Orleans rather, looks to answer again. Zach Holdorf on a play-action fake, goes deep down the field. That's incomplete. Looking for Kyron Rucker. Extra point is good for Salt Lake. No new numbers there. What can Matt Wilson do with 8:50 to go in the 4th quarter, trailing 17-10? That is now the game with the least amount of time remaining. Upper right-hand corner, Dakota and Rochester, as Matt Wilson's pass is caught to the 40-yard line, 16 of 24 today. Justin Reside with the reception. Emmanuel Blackman is sacked, 2nd down and 7. That's Musis with the takedown. The first sack of the day for LA. They didn't get any in the first half, and a 3rd down and 18 is coming up for New Orleans. Blackman gets blasted. By the way, shout out to Joshua Durr, who got his Wichita Flyers gear today on the UFL shop. His Engagerly payout is coming soon, along with some others who have recently purchased some gear. Do you have your gear yet? If you don't, visit UFLshop.com, YOUFLshop.com. That is a sack for a Fister in Dakota. And Wilson almost got away from one and then got tackled by another. 4th and 25. LA back-to-back sacks on Blackman, and the drive for New Orleans ends in misery. San Diego is across the 50 on their opening drive. Holdorf tried to take off, but he's dropped for a sack. Eric Winter, picked up in the offseason, their best defensive player for Chicago, gets the sack, and Matt Wilson almost threw an interception on 2nd and 23. So now it's going to be 3rd down and 23 for Rochester. Wilson needs a miracle. Wilson dropping to throw. Matt Wilson incomplete. And with 7:05 to go in the 4th, I don't think the Pioneers have a choice. I think they got to punt it away again. Handoff and a little fullback trap for San Diego, and Chicago was not fooled. 3rd down and 11 for BK Solberg as Wichita tries to answer a Salt Lake touchdown. Solberg dropping a throw, has to take a check down to Delro, and he's going to be wrapped up pretty quickly. So Rochester will punt. Wichita will punt. Let's go 2nd down and 10. Los Angeles at their own 20-yard line. Actually, 3rd down and 16 for San Diego at the Chicago 36 is what we're watching. Upper left-hand corner of the screen. This is Holdorf with a clean pocket for now. Holdorf looking for someone to get open. Zach Holdorf firing down the field. It is caught for a 1st down. Pickup of 20 yards. Hanging in the pocket, Sir Jefferson. Holdorf usually takes off with those. But Holdorf feeling his receiver over the middle right there, and San Diego's got a fresh set of downs. Beautifully done All right, now 3rd down and 12 for Los Angeles, up 24-14, 6:15 to go in the third quarter. Shanahan dropping a throw. Shanahan fires down the sideline, intercepted. New Orleans with their second takeaway. Brandon with the INT, and that's more picks for Shanahan today than he had his first 4 weeks of the season. New Orleans has new life. Let's go to the train horn in Rochester. 5:48 to go. 3rd down for Dakota. Billy Flagg going to take off and run, and Flagg is going to get the first down at the 30-yard line. A gutsy run from Billy Flagg, 25 yards on his first 4 carries today. You see Blackman's numbers in the lower left-hand corner, 11 of 15 for 192, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Handoff, Ray Chapatulis pulled a matrix move out there. Zach Holdorf going to take off and run, and he's got a 9-yard touchdown. The number's already off the board, but Holdorf gets the Wildcats in the end zone for 6 on their opening drive. Back to Billy Flagg, whose pass is intercepted. Picked off by Han Tayumi, who almost had one earlier in the day. Rochester has new life with 5:08 to go. Play fake, Emmanuel Blackman going long, one-on-one coverage, caught at the 2. Oh my goodness. Hauled in by Brandon Worley. The extra point for San Diego is good. Tayumi with the pick, and a beautiful catch. Bottom left-hand corner from Worley in one-on-one coverage with the linebacker. Wilson just 3 of 8 of 32 yards in this half, but Rochester now in Dakota territory with 5:08 to go. Matt Wilson dropping a throw. He's going to take off and runs right into a fister. Another sack for Dakota. 2nd and 13 coming up. That's the 4th sack for the Rhinos. 1st down and goal for New Orleans at the 2-yard line. The handoff. No, Blackman keeps it on a read option and scores. Touchdown, New Orleans. They're right back within 1 score. Wilson to the sideline, caught to the Dakota 29-yard line. 1st down. That's Dijon Swan. 4th catch for 67 yards. Now it's 4th down for Salt Lake. They've already gone for it once on 4th down today. They will punt on their own side of the field, up 14-7 with 3:25 to go in the first half. First and 10 at the Dakota 29 with 4:43 to go. The extra point for New Orleans is good, 24-21. As Wilson's pass is incomplete. This is Wiseman deep down the field. That is incomplete. We're going to stick with Rochester and Dakota here. 4:40 to go in the 4th quarter. Now 50 of you watching the Game Day Gauntlet here in week number 5. We've got a 17-10 game, a 24-21 game, a deep shot from Wilson. That pass is incomplete. A 7-0 game in San Diego and a 14-7 game in Salt Lake. 4 games, all 1-possession games right now in the quad box of week number 5 on the Game Day Gauntlet. 3rd down and 10 for Rochester. And Matt Wilson. Empty, fires, caught down to the 6-yard line. 7-yard line for Rochester. Dejon Wright with the 1st down. His 6th grab for 62 yards. Solberg's near a 1st down. Wiseman's got a 3rd down and 8 for Chicago, and that pass is incomplete. San Diego gets another stop. How about Los Angeles? 1st down and 10. That pass is complete. McKay Breeze to the 46-yard line as LA tries to fend off New Orleans. It's a touchdown for Rochester. Right from Matt Wilson. It's a 1-point game between the winless Pioneers and the 3-1 defending champion Dakota Rhinos. Unbelievable action here on the Gauntlet. 4:10 to go in the 4th quarter. Rochester has fought all the way back, and we're tied. Six plays, 42 yards. The numbers will return. Cooper at the conclusion of Rochester and Dakota, which is right around the corner, as Ronnie Shanahan will take a check down into New Orleans territory to the 44-yard line. BK Solberg over the middle, broken tackle. Wichita has been fending off Hornet defenders all day long. That is Dwayne Knight's fourth catch for 64 yards. Zach Holdorf on a play-action fake. He gets popped as soon as he throws, and that pass is knocked away and incomplete. Let's go to Salt Lake, where Wichita's got a fresh set of downs at the 39-yard line of the Hornets with 1:11 to go. Gilmore's third reception. He also has a touchdown today. How will Billy Flagg respond? 12 of 19 for 172 yards and a pick today. Ingram's got a first down for Los Angeles. Holdorf's got a first down and a whole lot more for San Diego into Chicago territory at the 46-yard line. This is Billy Flagg, 4:08 to go in the fourth quarter, and that is incomplete. Threw it at the feet of an intended receiver. So now it's second down and 10. Back to Los Angeles as Shanahan's got him into New Orleans territory. Ingram on the carry to the 35-yard line. Solberg down to the bottom of the screen, gets a completion to Delro. 17 of 20 for BK Solberg, down 14-7. Sights on the carry, 4 minutes to go. Third down and 8 for Dakota as Rochester looks for a stop. Shanahan on second down and 4 into the flat, that is caught, but it is short of the sticks. 3rd and 1 for LA. 3rd and 2 for Wichita coming up. 3rd and 8, Billy Flagg on a rollout. It is caught for a first down. Jake Riley with a huge play for Dakota to keep momentum on their side with 3:20 to go in the fourth quarter. This is Shanahan on 3rd down and 1, and Los Angeles is once again trying to answer New Orleans' touchdown with one of their own, McKay Breeze. 5 catches, 87 yards so far. Timothy Shea's got a first down for Wichita at the 23-yard line. And we've got 3 different replays of some stellar receptions. Actually, 4. Looks like Dakota's going to be the first with a play. 3 minutes to go. First down and 10 for Dakota. Flagg drops to throw. That pass is caught on a slant. Now Solberg, 1st and 10 of the 22-yard line. That pass is caught on a little dump off. Draw play, Al Ingram inside the 10. Ingram pushing his way to the 6-yard line. 73 yards. It'll be a 4th down San Diego. Be a 57-yard field goal from here. I think they're going to come up short. Doug Day with the catch. Joe Allen saved the first down by dragging him down by his kneecaps. Solberg's pass is caught. Turning the corner. Touchdown. Dwayne Knight with another reception for Wichita. He's been on fire so far in the game. And that was a 16-yard score for Wichita. That's a new number off the board. Ingram is fighting for extra yardage down to the 4. Check that, Victor Washington. And San Diego went for a 57-yard field goal. That one was not even close. No good. 2-minute warning between Dakota and Rochester with the Rhinos driving. Los Angeles is also driving inside the 5, but it's going to be 3rd down and goal. The extra point is good for Wichita, 14-14 with 16 seconds to go. Another successful 2-minute drive. 3rd down and 2. The screen to Liam Seitz works out for Dakota, and the drive will continue. It'd be a 51-yard game-winning field goal from there. Shanahan into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles, and they do it again. 30-21 LA with 1 second to go in the third quarter. That's the 3rd time today that Los Angeles has scored a touchdown after New Orleans has scored a touchdown. Back to Rochester. 1:35 to go in the fourth quarter. Handoff. That is not Seitz, that is Lyons down to the 31. Rochester will start taking timeouts when the field goal is essentially, for all intents and purposes, a guarantee. A 48-yard field goal is certainly not that. 31 is now off the board with the Los Angeles score. This is a handoff. Dakota's got a first down inside the 20. And now you'll see Rochester taking those timeouts because they need to get the football back What a drive from Dakota to answer that Rochester touchdown. Kay Marion with a beautiful catch. She is second in the league in receiving yards, averaging 108.3 yards per game. But Kay Marion does not have a touchdown this year, despite 433 receiving yards. Jay Carter for Salt Lake, incomplete. And another timeout coming for Rochester. Now Chicago's got Jason Williams on the move to the 16-yard line as the Dragons are looking to put their first points up on the board today. Grant Hardaway may have just gotten our first bingo of the day. Card number 23, Jay Carter, 3rd down and 10 for Salt Lake, and that pass is incomplete. 2nd and 6, Rochester's got one timeout left with 1:06 to go, and Liam Seitz, did he just pick up a first down? Yes, he did. 1st and goal, Dakota, in a tie game. Wichita has -3 rushing yards at the half, and Emmanuel Blackman just got taken down by Cameron Curse. A loss of 1. So 2nd down and 16. Chicago's in the red zone. Dakota's in the red zone. Rochester gets the stop. Of course, they could block the field goal or maybe force a fumble, but you might have thought about just letting them score there. 3rd and 8 coming up for Chicago. Second and goal at the 7, 43 seconds to go. Rochester needs a miracle. Deep shot, New Orleans. That pass is incomplete. On a counter, Seitz again is swallowed up at the 6-yard line, but Rochester has no way to stop the clock. Salt Lake up to the 30 as they start the second half. Manuel Blackman on 3rd and 16. There's a penalty flag. The field goal for Dakota is good with 2 seconds left. A.J. Horn, and Dakota drains the clock all the way down. The snap is good, the hold is good, and the kick is good. And Dakota goes up by 3. 3rd and 24, and Blackman's pass is incomplete. It is going to be a 32-yard field goal for Chicago. 32 is off the board. 7-3 there. And Chris Allure recovers a fumble. Lower right-hand corner of the screen. Jay Carter, yeah, he lost the ball. And Allure recovered it. 4th and 24. New Orleans has no choice with 11:06 to go, down 10. They got to punt the football away. 2 seconds left for Rochester. It is a kick short to Dejon Wright. He is tackled in the open field. 2nd and 26, and Salt Lake may have just converted. No, it's 3rd and inches. And you feel bad for Rochester because they had an opportunity late in that game to make a play. They could not get Dakota off the field, and the Rhinos hang on and leave Rochester winless. 20-17, interception, New Orleans. That's their 3rd all the way back. And the Claws have a pick 6. It's a 4-point game in LA. Claiborne with the interception. And New Orleans' defense does it again. Zach Holdorf breaking a tackle and getting out to the 40-yard line. Claiborne jumps the route intended for Scorch Henderson. Casey Reed with a sack and a loss of 4 yards. The 3rd interception from Ronnie Shanahan. And the extra point for New Orleans is good. 28 is now off the board. That is your 31st called number. 20-17, Dakota beats Rochester. That is a final. We go through the stats up there on the screen before we go back to the triple box. It's 3rd down and 14 for Salt Lake at the 41. Zach Holdorf on a 2nd down and 5, and he throws a pick. Intercepted by Chicago, brought back the other way, all the way to about the line of scrimmage. Breeze with the interception for Chicago. And I believe that is Chicago's first interception of the season. Now back into the triple box. There are your updated numbers here on the Game Day Gauntlet. Ronnie Shanahan has 5 incompletions, but 3 of them are interceptions. 18 of 23 today. Salt Lake's got to punt it away with 8:55 to go in the 3rd quarter. That's going to bounce into the end zone. We did not get the distance on that Dakota field goal. Excellent point. Let's see if we can get that.
Down, 30 base.
We've got Solberg with the ball on the 20-yard line. Solberg looking around, and that one is almost intercepted. The field goal yardage was 23, which is already off the board. 20 is also off the board. Look at New Orleans rallying to the football in the backfield. A loss of 1 yard. Jack Toulouse with his 2nd tackle, and K. Marion moves the sticks for Chicago. Al Ingram running the wrong way as New Orleans was all over that one. $8:16 to go, 3rd quarter. This is Chris Delro on a screen. Delro's got a 1st down on 3rd and 5 for Wichita. Wiseman dumps it short. Al Ingram's going to get a 3rd down and 3 coming up for LA with 9:28 to go in the 4th quarter. By the way, want to check in on that. I think Grant Hardaway said his card was 22. No, that's not right. That is Coco's card. 1st down for Los Angeles. McKay Breeze has over 100 yards now. 106 on 6 catches as New Orleans could not get the stop. Bottom of the screen there. Nice throw from Shanahan as Solberg's pass is nearly intercepted. All tied at 14 in the 3rd there. 7-3 in the 2nd in San Diego. And 31-28 in the 4th quarter in Los Angeles. New Orleans has given the Aztecs all they can handle as Adam Wiseman goes to the end zone. That is knocked away on 3rd down and 7. Pollard on the carry for Wichita will set up a 3rd down and 1. Now Los Angeles has a 1st down at the 21-yard line. Nathan Blake makes the tackle, but it's McKay Breeze now. 7 for 120 for Breeze. As Denard Byam was the intended target, that is swatted away. That's a 1st down and more for Wichita. Gilmore is loose. It's a 55-yard touchdown for the Flyers. Gilmer's 2nd score of the day, and the 42-yard field goal for Chicago is good. 42-6 off the board. That was an over 50 touchdown for Chicago, for Wichita rather, so no points there. It's a 2nd down and 2 at the 13-yard line for Los Angeles in New Orleans territory. Can LA do it for a 4th straight time and score a touchdown after New Orleans scores a touchdown? Shanahan is sacked. Gilmer's 2 scores has Wichita up on Salt Lake now 21-14. 7-6 San Diego on top of Chicago, and 31-28 as New Orleans holds out hope for holding for a field goal. 21-14 Flyers. 31-28 Aztecs. Third down and 10. 6:43 to go. Shanahan drops to throw. It is caught at the 4. Fancher with his first catch of the day for 17 yards. It is 1st and goal LA, and New Orleans is in the danger zone here. Payne Price on the carry, 32 yards on 6 carries. Chicago worked on tackling this week. They boosted a tackling attributes to their top 4 starting defensive backs. So far, so decent against Payne Price. Handoff to Al Ingram is going to lose a couple of yards up front. 2nd and goal at the 7 for Los Angeles. Chris Allure and the Salt Lake Hornet offense is back out there. Wichita's run defense has actually been really good today. Don't forget to post your bingo cards in the UFL bingo channel if you feel like you have a winner. And I can say that Fowler certainly does. A double vertical for Fowler so far. As Ronnie Shanahan's going to take off and run, he has to slide right at about the line of scrimmage. 5:26 to go in the 4th. It's 3rd down and goal. How about Chicago's defense gets another stop? And they'll get the football back at the 20-yard line, down 7-6. 3rd and goal for LA. Can New Orleans get a stop? They can at the 3-yard line. Livingston on the tackle. Now, would Los Angeles dare to go for this? They are within the realm of going for it. 4th and goal at the 3 to try to put the dagger in New Orleans, or do they kick the field goal and take their chances with a claw offense that has been pretty good today? They are going to take the points. It is a 20-yard field goal for Los Angeles that would make it 34-28. Almost blocked. No new numbers there. The field goal is good. 34-28 Los Angeles over New Orleans. And the Claws now will get a shot at pulling the upset as Ryan makes the catch for Salt Lake. They are across the 50. They're in the 3rd quarter. San Diego and Chicago's in the 2nd quarter. And LA and New Orleans with the least amount of time remaining with 4:25 to go in the 4th quarter. Fowler needs a 5, 8, and a 38 for a double bingo today. How about that? Jay Carter drops that one off, picks up 3. Mike Churchill needs a 25. Of course, I don't think anybody wants Austin Lone Stars to be getting bingos except Austin players. .330 to go in the 3rd quarter. This is Carter dropping a throw. That pass is caught. The 33-yard line of Wichita. That ball is almost caught at the top of the screen. Wiseman is now 2 of 8 for 20 yards. All right, Emmanuel Blackman, what do you got? With 4:26 to go, that pass is incomplete. 12 of 19 for 217 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception so far today. Hopkins on the carry for Salt Lake, still on his feet, up to the 27-yard line of Wichita. 3 minutes to go in the 3rd as Salt Lake looks to answer back. 2nd and 10 for Blackman. Down to the sideline. It is dropped. Ronnie needs an 18 and a 25. Wiseman's pass is incomplete. 3 of 10. Now it's 4th down, so Chicago's going to have to punt the football. 3rd down and 10 for New Orleans. Blackman got it. 1st down to the 43-yard line. Cameron Bailey with the catch, and the drive stays alive for New Orleans at the 43 with 4:05 to go. 254 yards of offense for Salt Lake. That's Patrick Anderson with the catch, a little RPO. He's also got a touchdown today. 1st down, New Orleans. Pass on a little drag is complete for 3 yards. Chicago's got a punt. And breaking a tackle. Good return for San Diego up to the 31-yard line. No huddle for New Orleans as Blackman throws incomplete. This is Carter going long. Back corner of the end zone, way overthrown. 2nd down and 10 from the 16-yard line. New Orleans is 54 yards away. Another 3rd down and 7. They had a 3rd and 10 conversion earlier. This one over the middle, caught at the LA 35-yard line. Now Carter rips it inside the 10, and Anderson fighting for his second score. That's down to the 2-yard line for Salt Lake as they try to tie the game. No huddle for New Orleans, 3:18 to go, down 6. Emmanuel Blackman, clean pocket, over the middle, caught inside the 20, down to the 14-yard line for New Orleans. Devin Sparks with the catch. How about Jay Carter in the red zone, down to the 1-yard line with 1:18 to go in the 3rd quarter. Back to Los Angeles, no huddle New Orleans, 2:55 to go in the 4th quarter. Blackman looking into the end zone, the pass is, oh, he got it, touchdown, Claus. He took it away from the defender. We're tied at 34. Touchdown, Salt Lake, Chris Allure, 1 yard. That is Dylan Garday ripping the football away from Mike Denali. Why is that ironic? Because Mike Denali forced 2 fumbles on Ari Mills and San Diego a couple of weeks ago in a victory, a shootout victory, in fact. A 42-34 LA win. Now New Orleans leads 35-34 with 2:52 to go in the 1st quarter, or in the 4th quarter rather. What a drive from New Orleans. That was a 13-yard touchdown, and the 1-3 Claws are up on the 3-1 Aztecs by a point. Salt Lake tied the game from 1 yard out, so now we're tied at 21 over there. We have 7-6, 21-21, and 35-34 here on the Gauntlet's final 3 games of the day. We also saw Dakota beat Rochester with a field goal inside 5 seconds left to win 20-17, and New York took care of Phoenix 40-21 as they pulled away late. Phoenix was 0 for 3 on 4th down in the quarter. Now what can LA do with 2:48 to go in the 4th? Ronnie Shanahan's had his worst game of the season, but McKay Breeze has been awesome. 7 catches for 120 yards. BK Solberg, 23 of 28 as Kyron Rucker, and San Diego is into the red zone with 1:52 to go in the 1st half. Solberg drops to throw in a little curl. That's incomplete. Los Angeles has the football up to the 31. The clock will not stop. That pass caught by Ingram. 367 yards for New Orleans. They haven't necessarily held LA down today, but that defense forcing turnovers, much needed from the Claws. Ronnie Shanahan has a ton of weapons at his disposal, and he gets the ball down to the New Orleans 47-yard line with 2:05 to go in the 4th quarter. This is Zach Holdorf into the back of the end zone, incomplete from 12 yards out. 2-minute warning in LA. How about Solberg on a 3rd down and 10? He goes down. Sacked by LaBrice Ruff, the free safety for Salt Lake, and that'll be 4th down for Wichita. Zach Holdorf is in the red zone from 12 yards out on his 2nd down and 10. Going to take off and run. Holdorf lost the ball. It is picked up, popped up in the air. There goes Chicago. Got a block. Got another block. The Chicago Dragons all the way for a touchdown. You got to be kidding me. Manson on the return for the Dragons defense, and Chicago takes the lead. Ronnie Shanahan dropping a throw. It is knocked up in the air and incomplete. Look at it. The ball popped up and hit off of Holdorf's leg, bounced up in the air, and Manson returns it for a fumble 6. End of the 3rd quarter in Salt Lake, 21-21. 3rd down and 8 for Los Angeles, 1:33 to go in the 4th quarter. Ronnie Shanahan dropping a throw. Shanahan going to take off and run. Shanahan looking for the 1st down. He's short, 4th down. Hydrate.
Faster, faster.
13-7 Chicago, 4th down and 3 Los Angeles. This could be the game right here. Shanahan's pass is caught down to the 18-yard line. Timeout New Orleans. They got to get the football back. It wasn't a punt return. It was a fumble return for a score. Chicago now up 13-7 with 1:12 to go, but bottom of the screen, 1:08 left. New Orleans has to get the football back. The handoff goes to Ingram. That is a 7-yard pickup, and New Orleans calls timeout with 1 timeout remaining and 1:03 on the clock. A 4th down conversion for Los Angeles helped to keep the drive alive. 4th quarter in Salt Lake. Casey Reed with his 2nd TFL. Tie game at 21 there. Shanahan on 2nd down and 3. Fires to the sideline that's incomplete. And with 1 minute to go, that saves New Orleans a timeout. Holdorf on his first run since the fumble picks up 8 yards. Drama in LA, 3rd down and 3. Handoff in the backfield. New Orleans gets the stop, but now they're out of timeouts. Field goal incoming for Los Angeles. Jay Carter, 2nd down and 11. He's going to take off and run for Salt Lake, upper right-hand corner of the screen. And Carter's down to the Wichita 39-yard line. This is a 32-yard field goal for Los Angeles that would give them a 37-35 lead. No new numbers there. 32-yard field goal from LA to put them back ahead. That kick is good. 37-35 Los Angeles over New Orleans. And now the Claws have to do something that is very difficult to do in the UFL with no timeouts. Go not the length of the field, but get into field goal range and somehow get the clock stopped in order to get the field goal team on with 53 seconds to go. Salt Lake just picked up the 1st down on 3rd and about 5. 25 seconds to go for San Diego. They have all 3 timeouts. If Holdorf can do something with it here and doesn't want to fumble, it'll be a timeout San Diego. This is Carter to the sideline. That ball is caught at the... No, it was not caught. They'll bring up 2nd down and 10. 53 seconds left for New Orleans. The 1-3 Claws, the 3-1 Aztecs. Blackman said, don't overlook the hungry in his Week 5 preview. 17 of 26 for 292 yards for Emmanuel Blackman, not Theodore Blackman. We have over 50 off the board, so no new numbers there. That is a completion of the 46-yard line for New Orleans. Devin Sparks somehow able to get open. Jay Carter's pass deep down the field, wide open, Sauce K, touchdown, Salt Lake. I believe it was from 32 yards away. Incomplete pass for New Orleans will stop the clock. That is a 32-yard touchdown to Sauce K. No new numbers. Holdorf dropping a throw. 8 seconds to go. Holdorf's pass caught by Rucker inside the 10, and San Diego will get a field goal. 29 seconds left for New Orleans. Remember, a 10-second runoff if they're in the field of play. 26 is now in play for a San Diego field goal. Blackman drops to throw. That pass is caught, and that is in the field of play. So New Orleans now with a 10-second runoff. They got to move. They got to somehow get into field goal range and get out of bounds. The extra point for Salt Lake is good. They go up 28-21. The 26-yard field goal for San Diego is about to be kicked. 10 seconds left for New Orleans. The field goal for San Diego is good. Blackman's running out of time. He throws a sideline. The pass is caught, and he's out of bounds with 4 seconds left. It's at the 25-yard line. Devin Sparks, how did he get open? 42-yard field goal coming up for New Orleans, which is not a new number. 38 would be, however, and New Orleans has a chance to win the game on an unbelievable drive. Oh my goodness gracious. New Orleans with 4 seconds left, a 42-yarder to win it, 38-37 in Los Angeles. The field goal is up, and it is good. And New Orleans does the impossible. What a finish in Los Angeles. Oh, my goodness. 38 is off the board. 26 is off the board. In that absolute cinema moment here on the Game Day Gauntlet, New Orleans with a huge upset in Los Angeles, winning 38-37. Now Wichita down 7 with 8:28 to go in the fourth quarter's on the move as Chicago and San Diego hit halftime. San Diego 243 total yards in that first half, but it all ends in just 10 points. Oh my.
Ready? 60 outlaw.
8 minutes to go. Wichita and Salt Lake. Howler's got a double bingo in his return to the UFL. 7:57 to go in the fourth. That was an incomplete pass from Solberg. Chicago and San Diego about to start the second half. The Dragons on that fumble 6 take the lead. Solberg's pass is caught. That is a first down. And we're now into the double box as the gauntlet continues to wind. We have 35 called numbers off the board. Damon wants me to check card 10. I'll do anything for a breath at this point. Yeah, so Damon, you would need a 45 for a double vert or a 29 or 8 for a double horizontal. But no bingo for you just yet. Robert Brady saying he had one on card 33. Don't forget, you got to post in the UFL bingo channel if you're a winner, and you are a winner, Robert, as the catch is made by Morris. It's going to be 3rd and inches Wichita, 7:06 to go in the fourth quarter.
On the double. 53, Mike. Let's go, D. Big series right here. Big grip.
Solberg, 25 yards away, caught. Timothy Shea wrapped up at the 3.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Oh, man, some of y'all needed a 25, too. One tackle away with 6:28 to go in the fourth quarter. 2nd and 12 for San Diego, trailing 13-10. And Price knocked down in the backfield, 53 yards on just 12 carries. That's a double vertical or double horizontal for the gauntlet today. First down and goal at the 3 for Wichita, down 7. Solberg dropping a throw, and Delro is dropped for a 2-yard loss. Some of y'all need 5. 6 minutes left in the fourth. 10:55 third quarter for San Diego. 3rd down and 13. Zach Holdorf's pass is caught in the flat, and that does nothing.
Hey, let's go. Get set.
2nd and goal at the 5. 5:48 to go in the fourth quarter. Solberg dropping a throw. It is caught at the 2. Well, that erases the hopes of the people that needed a 5.
On the ball, come on.
No huddle for Wichita. 3rd and goal, 5:28 to go. Down 7. Solberg steps up in the pocket, looking for someone, coming back to the football. Receiver's got to get in, and does. Touchdown, Wichita. That is Corey Neal with the catch. from 2 yards away, and we're an extra point from being tied again in Salt Lake.
The kicker on for the extra point.
5:19 to go in the fourth quarter. Back and forth all day between these pair of 2-2 teams. The dogfight, as Theodore Blackman called it. San Diego just ripped a face mask. So somehow the house survives with no new numbers off the board since 26. First and 10, Chicago at their own 44-yard line as things finally settle down a little bit here. Don't forget, UFL Coast to Coast is coming up tonight, starting at 6 p.m. Eastern with Minnesota at Austin. Vegas hosts Miami. After that, it's Eric Vinson and John Warren on the call, followed by Josh Zirkle and Ramos Lynn. Anything can happen in the UFL. We've seen that today. New Orleans with an unbelievable victory over Los Angeles, 38-37. We saw Dakota hold off Rochester 20-17 with a game-winning field goal. Now we got a 28-28 game in Salt Lake with 5:19 to go, and Chicago right now is upsetting San Diego 13-10. That ball on the sideline is incomplete for Jay Carter. Wiseman is going to go down in a heap. That is the newcomer for San Diego. Adams with the sack. The second of the day for San Diego, first since the first play of the day. Jay Carter over to Sauce K. Not much there, so third down coming up for the Hornets. 5:10 to go. Third down and 9 for Salt Lake. Carter, sideline, Pangori beat the coverage down to the 12-yard line. Over the head of the antenna receiver. That looked like maybe cover 2. Pangori burned the corner, and the safety stepped up and whiffed. Wiseman's pass on 3rd and 16 is 1 yard away from a first down. Now what does Chicago do with 7:40 to go in the third? First down for Salt Lake at the Wichita 12. 4:15 to go in the fourth quarter. Drama building in Utah. Allure on the carry, has struggled today. Just 32 yards on the ground. Holland with the tackle. Will Chicago go for it here? Let's see. They will kick the field goal. 54-yard field goal for Chicago would make it 16-10. And that 54-yarder is missed to the right as Allure gets a 3rd and 1 at the 3. Payne Price -3 yards in the second half, but that missed field goal will help San Diego's field position at the 44. 3rd down and 1 at the 3 with 3:10 to go in the fourth, and Allure is stuffed. Joshua Durr comes up and makes the second TFL. They gave it credit to Bell, but that was definitely not Bell. Joshua Durr flying off the edge unblocked, and will likely force a field goal here out of Salt Lake. Six and a half to go in the third quarter for San Diego. This is a 22-yard field goal for Salt Lake. That is a new number. 22 is the field goal for the Hornets, and that kick is good. Payne Price on a 3rd down and 1. I do believe he got it. Yep, first down for San Diego with 5:58 to go in the third quarter. So Joshua Durr gets the goal line stop. Now it's up to Wichita with 2:36 to go. Salt Lake now leading by 3. Holdorf on a first down and 10, can't make anything happen. 11 of 18 for 115 yards and a touchdown. Another drama-filled ending here on the Game Day Gauntlet, coming down to the wire as Wichita trails by 3. Salt Lake and Wichita both 2-2 to start the season. Payne Price on the carry for San Diego. He's up to 71 yards on 16 carries. How about Solberg's day? 347 yards, 4 touchdowns. The 371 yards is nearing as Rutgers in the open field for San Diego. First down to the 15-yard line. Shy Ronnie has the most in a game with 513. I don't think Solberg's going to get there. Second down and 3. They will not get the playoff before the 2-minute warning. 31-28 Salt Lake over Wichita. San Diego trailing, Chicago 13-10, but now in the red zone. Second and 3 for Solberg. Back to pass, that is caught wide open. JaMychal Morris down the sideline, and a penalty on the Hornets. Oh, that is not what Salt Lake needed. First down on the 33, that's Dan Taylor, the Bull. The midseason acquisition who's been so good for Salt Lake, and now Wichita is in field goal range. Holdorf from 13 yards away, and a jump ball is caught, but only a 4-yard pickup. This is Solberg, sideline, out of bounds. 32 of 41 now is BK, 366 passing yards. Holdorf's got a third down and 4. With 3:10 to go in the third. From the 9-yard line, Holdorf checks it down. That's caught for a first down. Back to Solberg, who just got it away. It is caught at the 18. First down, Wichita. Timothy Shea with the catch. 88 yards on 5 grabs. 18 is a number that some of you need. 1:28 to go in the fourth. Solberg dropping a throw. He fires. It is caught. Shea, another face mask. This one's on Willis. Salt Lake imploding. Payne Price on the carry. Lost a yard. More good run defense from Chicago. Second and goal now for San Diego, trailing by 3 in the battle of the Blues. Half the distance to the goal penalty now. First down and goal at the 4. For Solberg and the Flyers. A field goal ties it. A touchdown gives them the lead. They hand the ball off, and he's short of the end zone. So is Holdorf on the run. He's 1 yard shy. Second down and goal to go. 1:06 to play in the fourth. Third and goal at the 1. We got 2 teams at the 1. San Diego touchdown. Wichita incomplete. Solberg overthrew him, and Payne Price's score gives San Diego the lead back with 1:31 to go in the third. Third and goal at the 1 for Wichita. 1 minute to play, down 3. BK, RJ, touchdown Wichita. Ice in their veins. Is that RJ's third of the day? The extra point is good for San Diego. They go 12 plays, 54 yards, and take a 17-13 lead. And Salt Lake's defense just lost RJ in the back of the end zone, standing by himself. Number 1 is already off the board. 35's already off the board. Chicago down 4. And Wichita fights back once again. We have seen the Dakota Rhinos execute a perfect 2-minute drive today. We have seen Wichita in the first half execute a perfect 2-minute drive. We saw New Orleans execute a perfect 1-minute drive with no timeouts. What does Salt Lake have in the bag? All 3 timeouts and 57 seconds left. They need a touchdown to go win it. Chicago 1-3 at the 2-2 Wildcats. Called a sneaky matchup by Theodore Blackman. Chicago needs a spark. San Diego just needs to stay consistent. This is about effort and playmakers. Theodore's pick was San Diego. Chicago's got the football back right now. That's Williams on the carry as that third quarter is going to wind to a close. Oh, you know I always want it to hurt. I got you. Just the 31st offensive play of the day for Chicago. Their offense hasn't been on the field too much, but Williams is going to have a first down, and here we go. The drama in Salt Lake is real. First down at the 24-yard line for the Hornets. Mia Pangori, 5 catches, 104 yards, and a touchdown. Your spotlight player coming out of the huddle. Pangori tied with Mike Churchill now with 6 receiving touchdowns on the season in the first 5 games. Jay Carter dropping to throw. Carter is looking for someone. There is a sack, but a flag. Stop grabbing the face masks. That's on Bell. A 15-yard penalty moves the ball up to the 31-yard line, and Salt Lake does not have to burn a timeout. 2,000 points, Fowler, for a double. That is the end of the third quarter in San Diego, 17-13. Wildcats on top of the Dragons. This is Carter, 45 seconds to go. Carter fires, that pass is caught, and trying to strip the football away to the 42. Salt Lake is choosing not to call a timeout with, at their own 42, 33 seconds and counting. I'm really surprised. They were right in that in-between time. You want to hold on to your timeouts as long as possible to get that reset. 6 catches for Ryan as Carter's pass is caught on the sideline. Now 21 seconds left, and they stop the clock anyway. Patrick Anderson with the catch. And Salt Lake lost a little bit of time there. Williams on the catch. He's going to be 1 yard short of the sticks. Chicago has a decision to make. Carter drops to throw. That pass is caught by Mia Pangori on the sideline. Timeout Salt Lake with 16 seconds left. They're 42 yards away. What a tackle by San Diego's defense. Number 79 here. Watch him just topple Jason Williams. That was a WWE move. 16 seconds to go. 2 timeouts for Salt Lake. They need a touchdown. Carter to throw. Carter down the middle of the field. Incomplete. That would have been huge at the 20-yard line. Now 11 seconds left. Carter dropping a throw. Carter completes it, and timeout Salt Lake. 5 seconds left and 1 timeout left to spare. 32 yards away from a touchdown. Ryan with his 7th catch. I don't know if you can get a playoff in 5 seconds? It's got to be fast. Or it's got to go to the end zone. Wiseman to the sideline, double covered there. Jay Carter back to throw to the sideline. Sauce K, 1 second left at the Wichita 23, and that gets Sauce over 100 yards. Wow. Sauce immediately getting to the sideline. A perfect play right there. And it all comes down to this for the Hornets. The 3rd straight game decided in the final seconds. Jay Carter dropping a throw. Carter looking. Carter going the wrong way. Threw it out of bounds. It's incomplete. And Salt Lake fails the mission. Wichita holds on for another gritty victory, and the Flyers, behind 400 yards from BK Solberg, improves to 3-2. What a road victory for Wichita. I don't know what in the world Jay Carter was thinking. How can you think that you have more time with 1 second to go? He just threw it away. And that's going to hurt for a while for Salt Lake. 425 yards in a loss. They even won the turnover battle. Wichita survives. They get to 3-2, and Theodore Blackman had it right. The slight lean to the Flyers. 9:54 to go in the fourth quarter, and our only game remaining. It is 17-13. Chicago down by 4. And that is a catch for a first down. Adam Wiseman is just 7 of 19, but he's moving Chicago down the field at the San Diego 26-yard line. The final stats are done in Salt Lake. What a victory for Wichita. And a big win in the East Division, with Dallas and Salt Lake still to come. Miami also still left to play. So now, look at this. Wide open, 26 yards. Touchdown for K. Marion and Chicago. If only it was 25. And the Dragons have taken the lead once again in California.
The kicker on for the extra point.
Bingo is not over. It will run the duration of this game. Then you'll reset your cards for the regular winnings for UFL Coast to Coast, and that will go from the first game to the second game. It's all one broadcast, and it's all one YouGo game coming up. So now it's up to San Diego's offense, down 20-17. Chicago is hung tough. That was their first offensive touchdown of the day. Oh my goodness. What do y'all think? Well, some of y'all are biased, but has this been the best gauntlet of the season so far? 3 straight games end in thrilling finishes, and even Phoenix and New York was a one-score game entering the fourth quarter. And now the Battle of the Blues, led by Zach Holdorf. And the Wildcats come out there with 9:13 remaining, 20-17. 297 to 179. San Diego leads Chicago in total yards. Holdorf dropping a throw, going to take off and run. Holdorf already fumbled earlier today. That's an 11-yard pickup, 94 yards on 9 carries for Holdorf as we dip under 9 minutes to go in the ball game. Some numbers out there for sure. 51st play of the day for San Diego's offense. Holdorf dropping to throw. Holdorf going to fire, middle of the field. Caught Ari Mills down to the Chicago 39. Holdorf 15 of 22 for $169. And Ari Mills up to 4 catches for 40 yards.
Ready, set, go. 50.
8:05 to go, fourth quarter.
Hey, we heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges. Ready?
Holdorf firing, sideline, almost intercepted. Almost picked off. That ball was late, getting out to the far side of the field. A dangerous throw from Holdorf. Zach, clean pocket again. Gonna have to take off and run, but they had a spy on him. And it only gained a yard. Winter dropped back in a spy position, makes the tackle. 3rd down and 9, San Diego with 7:38 to go in the 4th quarter.
30 base. Hey, tighten down. There you go.
Holdorf out of the gun, needs this one. Zach fires, caught. Mills inside the 10 and down to the 6. First down for San Diego, 1st and goal.
Ready, break. Lightning.
Holdorf out of the shotgun, 6:46 to go in the 4th now. Chicago tries to hold. Payne Price is ducked down at the 2-yard line. Less than 4 yards a carry for Payne Price today. He averages 5.1 this season, which is good enough for 11th in the UFL. But Chicago definitely a much better tackling team today after that was their decision. Oh, great play action from Zach Holdorf, and then an okey-doke around the right side. Touchdown, San Diego. Oh, that was brilliant from Zach Holdorf, and the Wildcats are back in front. Watch this, play action. I'm going to go this way. Nope, I see a defender. I'm going to run the other way, and Holdorf gets in. Yes, you reset the bingo card, Mac, for the next games, and then it's good for the next 2 on UFL Coast to Coast. The lead changes are intense here on the Gauntlet, and San Diego's up by 3. Still no new numbers, though, as the extra point is good. 24-20 San Diego over Chicago. Oh, man, 7 plays, 74-yard, 3-minute and 7-second drive for the Wildcats. For Holdorf this season, he averaged 10 yards a carry coming in. That was best in the league. 243 yards on 24 carries, and had 1 rushing touchdown. We are stuck on 22, as 22 makes the tackle for San Diego. Triple vertical is not a winner, but double is. Coast to Coast kicks off at 6 p.m. Eastern with Minnesota hosting Austin. And then at 7:30 p.m. Eastern with Miami visiting Vegas. Wiseman drops to throw. That is complete, and a 9-yard pickup. He's 9 of 21 for 107 yards today. Definitely not the standard of Adam Wiseman, yet Chicago's only down 4 in this game. Wiseman out of the shotgun, split backs in the backfield. 2nd and 1, going to try to set up a screen. He got nailed and didn't get enough for the 1st down. He did. Corey Preston, the pass catching back with his first catch of the day, keeps the drive alive with under 5 minutes to go now. Down 4, empty backfield for Wiseman and the Dragons. Adams' pass in between 2 different receivers, incomplete. Yes, Fowler, that would be double 2. 2 times 2.
Here we go. 15 line.
4:51 left in the 4th quarter. As Wiseman drops to throw, fires, it is complete again. That's the 2nd catch of the drive for Denard Byam, but it is once again 1 yard short of the sticks. They had a 3rd and 1 3 plays ago. 4:20 to go. Zach Cobb with his 5th tackle. Handoff to Williams, has a first down. So back-to-back third and short conversions for Chicago keeps the drive alive. Blasingame with his fourth tackle up front. Also has a sack today.
Come on, set. 90 Wolf.
3:48 to go in the fourth quarter. The handoff to Williams will pick up two more. Chicago doesn't seem to be in too much of a particular hurry. I wonder if that's going to change here shortly. Clock continues to roll down to 3:18 to go in the fourth. 24-20, San Diego on top of the Dragons. This is Wiseman stepping back. Wiseman just has to check it down into tight coverage. Incomplete. That is Tyler Adams making another great play for San Diego's linebacking core. 3rd down and 8. This would be the third down conversion of the drive for Chicago. Wiseman over the middle. Incomplete, and it's 4th down with 3:02 to go. This is decision time for Chicago. What would you do in the chat? 4th and 8 in your own territory, down 4 with 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. What is Chicago going to decide to do? They're going to punt. With 3:02 left, Chicago is going to punt. Play defense. And inside the 5, the ball's going to bounce backwards to the 9-yard line. Grab wanted them to go for it. Can San Diego hold him off? 2:55 to go in the fourth quarter. This is Holdorf. He's going to air it out deep, taking a shot to Rucker, who almost grabbed it with one hand. Oh, the Wildcats went for the kill shot, and that was almost the perfect pass from Holdorf. Wow, when you got a speedster like that one-on-one, I mean, I don't blame Holdorf for letting it rip. He's going to throw again. And that one is caught by Mills. Chicago is going to let the clock roll. Preserve the timeouts. They'll call a timeout if they get a stop or if there's any play in the field of play on 3rd down. Oh, man. That was a one-handed, almost terrific catch. 3rd down and 8, 2:14 to go in the fourth quarter. Holdorf going to throw again. And Zach gets rid. Oh, he got nailed. Hits Payne Price. At least it keeps the clock moving. So Chicago will have to call a timeout, but they will get the football back. 2:03 left. And that timeout helps save a play on the other side of the 2-minute warning for Chicago. 4th and 7 at San Diego's 12, and the decision to punt pays off for Chicago after San Diego had a near miss on an absolute beautiful rainbow from Holdorf. A monster punt from Jimmy Smith will pin Chicago back at the 29-yard line, and that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Oh, there's no way I'm going to tell you who I think is going to win. You don't get thinking out of me on this program. I have to be impartial. Adam Wiseman dropping a throw, 1st and 10 all day to throw. Almost threw an interception. How can you throw that football? It should have been taken away. That was Leon Diggs, who had every opportunity. Now it's 2nd down and 10 for Wiseman with 1:47 to go in the 4th quarter. Wiseman dumps it underneath. That is caught at the 36. 10-second runoff. Wiseman just 12 of 28 for 124 yards today. That's Lloyd's 3rd catch for 16 yards. 1:31 to go. No huddle for Chicago. Protecting those 2 timeouts until they absolutely need them. 3rd down and short for Wiseman. The pocket is breaking down, but he has just enough time to get rid of a deep shot caught at the 15-yard line. Tay Marion gets behind the defense, and Chicago is 15 yards away from a score. Check that. Byleth Thomas with the reception. No huddle for Chicago. 1:06 to go in the 4th quarter. Play fake Wiseman. Wiseman going to the end zone. Touchdown. 15-yard score. Chicago goes up by 2. And that time it's Marion for 6. What a drive for the Dragons. And still no new numbers. The ultimate tease. Late here on the Game Day Gauntlet, Chicago, after getting almost no production out of their passing game all day long, takes a 3-point lead in San Diego. Now the Wildcats have all 3 timeouts and 1:02 to play. Jimmy Smith is the kicker for San Diego. He missed a field goal earlier today. Smith is 8 of 11 kicking this season with a long of 44 yards. Just got to get into field goal range, and they have 3 timeouts to do it. Not the most challenging scenario in the world, but still very challenging all the same. 58 seconds left. What does San Diego have left in the bag? (27-24). Austin and Minnesota kick off at 6 p.m. Eastern here on the Virtual Football Network. Eric Vinson and John Warren standing by. Holdorf dropping a throw. First play of the drive is Rucker to the 45-yard line. 1st down. Rucker 5 for 110 yards. 38 seconds left. 61st offensive snap of the day for San Diego. Holdorf drops the throw, going to take off and run past the 50. Zach Holdorf going to get down. Holdorf to the 36-yard line. Timeout, San Diego. It'd be a 53-yarder from here. San Diego trying to come back and force overtime. Chicago played the first overtime game in the UFL last week, lost 26-23 to Los Angeles. Holdorf to throw, down the middle, incomplete, 24 seconds left, knocked away. That was Garrett Ramsey with the deflection. Overtime rules. If you score a touchdown on the opening drive, it's over. Otherwise, the other team gets to score or gets a chance to score. Zach Holdorf is going to be sacked. He gets dropped backwards, way out of field goal range, a loss of 9 yards. He was looking to take off and run, and Chicago sealed the edge. Now it's 3rd and 19 with 20 seconds to go. Holdorf needs the 26.5 for a 1st down, but less than that to get into field goal range. Zach dropping a throw, pocket breaking down, pass, sideline caught at the 31-yard line. R.E. Mills, the clock continues to run. It would be Jimmy Smith's longest field goal of the year, and San Diego calls their last timeout with 5 seconds to go to try to tie the game and send Chicago to their 2nd consecutive overtime. of the season. This would be a 48-yard field goal. That is a new number and would tie the game at 27 for Jimmy Smith's longest field goal of the season, 48 yards for the tie. It is good. 1 second to go. Jimmy Smith may have saved the Wildcats as that just gets over the crossbar. And we're tied at 27. 48-yard kick, and Grab thinks he's got a bingo. What's your card, Grab? One second to go in regulation. Oh, my goodness. And the kneel down doesn't take any time off the clock. Clutch, don't forget to post in the channel, but you got it on the double horizontal. This is just a handoff to Jason Williams to play it safe, and for the second consecutive week, the Chicago Wildcats are headed to overtime. This game deserves the theme music. And it looks like maybe Flash and Holdorf get a bingo. So the coin toss has been made. And it looks like Chicago is going to get the football first. A touchdown wins it for the Dragons. And we've got more football. As if 5 games in 2 hours and 50 minutes wasn't enough. Got to get that extra 10. Or more. Who knows? Oh, man. Some of y'all going through it in the chat. 421 to 282 in total yards in favor of San Diego. Adam Wiseman on 1st and 10 drops to throw. Over the middle, that pass is complete. Pickup of 9. Wiseman up to 198. Oh, man, I'm exhausted. What an afternoon. Oh, my goodness. Handoff. Williams, first down to the 43. 24 carries, 106 yards, and one of his best runs of the day. A touchdown wins it in overtime. 27-27. Wiseman calls Marion in motion. And it's Adam over to Marion for a 7-yard pickup to midfield. Chicago's 50 yards away. Second and 3. They throw a little smoke screen. It got a yard. 3rd and 2. Marion's just 4th catch for 44 yards. That's kind of surprising. Can San Diego get the stop here? A field goal would win it for the Wildcats if so. 3rd down and 2. Wiseman just a little, wow, just a perfect play call there on the stick. Marcus Lloyd, 1st down Chicago. The drive continues to the San Diego 43-yard line. A mass of bodies in the middle of the field.
Mike, 56, right there, 56.
9:05 to go in overtime, although the clock is not really a factor, except if you like watching it. Williams, first down and more. A pickup of 14 yards. Jason Williams. 10th in the league coming in, averaging 74.5 yards a game. The Dragons are 30 yards away from putting this game on ice.
On the set. 56, check 56.
It'd be a 46-yard field goal from here. Wiseman, handoff to Williams. And Williams picks up 3. It'd be a 43-yard field goal from here. 2nd down and 6, Chicago. San Diego gets the ball back as long as they don't keep them in the end zone. Or allow them into the end zone, I should say. Handoff, got 2 more. It'd be a 41-yard field goal from here. 3rd down and 5 yards to go. Can San Diego get the stop? Wiseman to throw. Wiseman deep down the field, caught at the 9-yard line. 1st and goal, Chicago. Boyd with the catch, 9 yards away from victory in San Diego. This drive has taken now longer than 5 minutes.
On the double. 56 is the mark.
6:55 to go in the 4th. 1st and goal at the 9. San Diego needs a stop. Wiseman to throw. Over the middle, knocked away and incomplete. Second and goal.
Ready? 18 Gator. Right there, 56.
Wiseman out of the gun. Looks like man coverage across the board. They hand it off to Williams up the middle. Jason Williams down to the 2-yard line. 3rd and goal for Chicago. 2 yards away from victory. In overtime, on the road. Wiseman hands it off. San Diego smothers him in the backfield. Back at the 5, and a 22-yard field goal may be how the drive ends for Chicago. That was horrendous blocking up front for the Dragons. Can San Diego block the kick? Haven't seen one of those all day, and we won't see it there. The field goal is good. 30-27. Now San Diego gets a chance to respond. A touchdown wins it, a field goal ties it, and then we go to sudden death. Champion just said keep running in the chat, and then 2 things later said why rush. That is the epitome of the Virtual Football Network chat. 5:43 to go in OT. Chicago now has the lead, 30-27. Austin and Minnesota coming up at the top of the next hour, followed by Miami and Vegas. 3 of those 4 teams searching for answers, and Austin trying to keep pace with New York and setting up a major 5-0 versus 5-0 matchup on Coast to Coast next week. Zach Holdorf back out on the field for San Diego. 30-27. Holdorf dropping a throw. That pass is complete. First down on the sideline to the 34-yard line, fighting for extra yards and picking up 12. Holdorf now 21-31 for 253 yards. Holdorf shotgun, 5:05 to go in the 4th. Holdorf, clean pocket, fires and overthrew an open receiver. Five minutes left in overtime. We've spent 7 minutes of extra time. Holdorf, sideline, pass, caught. Price shoved out of bounds. That's only going to pick up 4. 3rd down and 6.
Let's go. 30 base. Watch the pass.
Holdorf out of the gun. Bunch to his left. Screen, and it hit the lineman in the back. Looking for Payne Price. Now it's 4th down. 4th and 6 at the 39. They need just past the 44 for a 1st down. Rucker's the lone receiver, top of the screen. Holdorf dropping a throw. He's looking that way. Rucker one-on-one, and it is picked off on a jump ball. Chicago wins. Intercepted by Reneel Brown. 2 yards shy of the end zone. And the deep shot to Kyron Rucker comes up empty again as the Dragons pull the upset on the road. He had it. Reneel Brown wins the jump ball at the goal line. Adam Wiseman finishes 16 of 26 for 201 yards in the second half after he had just 25 passing yards in the first half, and both teams fall to 2 and 3. As we get the final numbers from Chicago and San Diego, those are your final YOUGO numbers. 48 was the final one to be called, and we called 37 of the 51 possible numbers on the Gauntlet today. Look at those stats. Chicago with 3 takeaways, none for San Diego. And that ended up being the difference in the ball game as Holdorf walks off the field upset as the Wildcats let that one slip away. As the final stats scroll across the screen, we give you one last reminder that Austin and Minnesota, followed by Miami and Vegas, comes up tonight on UFO Coast to Coast. Take a little dinner break and then settle back in, clear your cards, and hopefully bingo is better to you in the next block if it wasn't good to you in this one. That'll do it for us here at the Game Day Gauntlet. Wow, we got our 3 hours worth today, didn't we? New York beats Phoenix 40-21. Dakota kicks a game-winning field goal with 1 second left to beat Rochester 20-17. New Orleans drives the field in under a minute with no timeouts and upset LA on the road at 38-37. Salt Lake got 23 yards away from winning the game, but fell short to Wichita by 4 points, 35-31. Chicago wins in overtime after losing in overtime last week. A final score of 30-27. Austin, Minnesota, and Miami, Vegas continues coverage, followed by Monday night primetime tomorrow night, Dallas and St. Louis. Thank you all so much for watching the Game Day Gauntlet. Whoa, it's only week 5, folks. We're here all season long. Y'all have a great rest of your night, and we'll see you back here for UFL Coast to Coast.